when he done the same thing. You got selective outrage. Going on Pearl, going on your friends, because they're the ones that sat with him for 6 months, love, while you're sitting there saying how disgusting it is. I sat with him 1 month. 1 day, sorry. They sat with him 6 months, platformed him, he came out with that, what was it, the nonce victim. Yeah, and you all still sat with him when he came out and called so-and-so a nonce victim. What's that about? You knew about his behaviour from day one. You supported him, you protected him, and you made him him to grow. You didn't have a problem with him going in at Just Nana. You didn't have a problem when he was going in at me at first when we had beef. You didn't care. You thought it was funny, all of you. So those are the people, Blaster, you need to be going at. But you won't do that because you have selective outrage for your friends. You're just as bad as Dan, in my opinion, then.
And can I just say one thing? Let's be honest, right? A little kid at the age of 10 could pick up a brick and throw it through a window. Yeah? That's nothing. You basically broken a window. A big hoo-ha. What? A kid could go and do that tomorrow. You know what I mean?
And who said, wait a minute, who said that I sat with him? Who said that I called him about getting views in? I never done that. I never said that. Well, you're listening to Pearl. Oh, yeah, listen to Pearl. Like,
because it's deflection from their, friendship with him.
Another thing I want to pick on, right, listen to this. Alicia went at me yesterday saying, well, you was gifting him, you was one of his gifters. Hold on, Alicia. You mud for Miss Red, who has sat with him and also met him in the real world, who platformed him. I'm just a little small fish. She's a big creator. She platformed him. And you're her mud, Alicia.
Someone just put in the comments as well that no one called the Pink Menace stuff out because they didn't like her, and I actually agree on that. No one had any outrage for that.
I called it out.
No, you did, but they didn't, Ange, did they? They didn't. Not one of them. They brushed on it and said, "Oh, it's wrong. Oh, it's this. It's a back and forth." But they didn't have.
They knew his behaviour from day one. So remember, guys, I might have sat with him for a day. I was drunk. I was intoxicated. He makes mistakes, no excuse, but I wasn't even in the right mind. They were sober when they were protecting him about the Pink Menace, the Just Nana, when he said what he said to Just Nana. They all supported him. They all supported him when we was doxing my address when we first had beef. They thought it was funny. If anyone protected him, it's that lot. Yeah. They protected him. So they want to go in on me on something that was pissed and didn't even know there was bloody things that were being said to me. Do you know what I mean? They want to go in on me. So it's quite, use me as an scapegoat. No, I don't think so. You supported him. All of you supported him, sat with him.
And not just even before the Pink Menace stuff, he was there doxing people, going through people's profiles on Facebook, outing people.
They thought it was funny.
Yeah. And he was insulting people as well and being vile at the very start. Him and Corey didn't get on, so they both had the back and forth, but it was horrible to Corey, putting photos of his family up and stuff like that.
People have said that he's the Blaster and whoever else has brought these messages to the app to out him. But I don't understand what outing means at this point now. You can only tell so many people so many times what they're saying is wrong and what is being said is wrong, blah, blah, blah. The people that support Dan will support him now because they've supported him throughout it. You outing him is just giving him relevance on the app when he said he's coming off it. You're giving him what he wants by putting this on the app. Deal with it privately. The messages happen privately, so deal with it privately. Because
who did the messages come from? Joey?
Yeah.
She didn't say.
I think Dan sent them to Joey after the apology.
So why does Dan keep sending the messages to Joey then if he knows that Blaster just outs him?
No, who the instigator is Joey here. Joey's going to
continuously sending messages to Blaster then, knowing that Joey's going to out them. I mean, Blaster's going to, why would you send then Joey, that person that's outing your messages? Why would you continuously send them to that person? It sounds like it's a big game, like some kind of setup between them all, if you ask me.
I think it's either a game or that Dan, I mean, my personal opinion is it's a game, but playing devil's advocate here, you could look and think that Dan has I don't want to say a trauma bond, that's not right, but he has a relationship with Joey where he still thinks he cares about him and he thinks by sending these messages, they're not going to go where he still has that trust. I think it's a game, but it could be that other way.
I don't trust Joey. I don't care what anyone says. Joey is a snake in the grass. I don't care what anyone says. He knows that Dan is having a meltdown. Right? Why send them to Blaster? Why?
Because he knows it's going to kick off a reaction again.
And why does Dan keep sending them to Joey, knowing that Joey sends them to Blaster? Do you know what I mean?
It's just a vicious circle at this point, I think. And until someone breaks it and just thinks, you know what, whatever, it's just, we're just going to keep going round in the vicious circle.
Because we all knew that he wasn't, that he's not sorry, really. Like, people that know him or know of him and what he's like, we all know that he's not sorry, is he? It's all for show.
Can I be honest why I'm disappointed in Dan? The apology that he put out there were to the big creators. He never once mentioned the people that supported him financially.
Yeah, but he didn't mention Angie. He didn't mention CA. He didn't mention a lot of people, even the big creators, Claire, that he's upset or calls people to have a rebellion.
He went for cock. He said to Cockapoo. What I'm disappointed in, I would have liked him to say, I've let you all down who supported me and stood by me, you know? Do you know what I mean? There was not 1 ounce of mentioning any of us ladies that have gone through the last 2 days, including yourself, Angie, you know, being
He did send me a message. He did send me a message. It says here... Now, I don't know why he said it. Maybe he said it for a reason, to cause shit, maybe. Maybe he was hoping I was going to put it on TikTok. I don't know. He just put, thank you for having my back last night, and it means a lot. I don't know what the fuck went on last night. I was an absolute disgrace. That's what he's put.
When he says things like that, I genuinely... maybe he is good at acting, but I genuinely feel like, okay. Maybe this time we might have learned. Maybe this time he's going to get the help.
No, I didn't reply.
He doesn't mean it. And the thing is, though, he's just gutted that he's... Obviously, everyone's dropped him. Well, so they say on TikTok, and that, you know, he's just feeling sorry for himself. And obviously those messages that have come in today, it just goes to show that. And he won't ever change. That is him. He's just toxic. He's vile to the core, rotten.
So is he actually coming back to the app then?
Oh, he'll be back. He'll be back. There's no two ways about that, Angie. No.
Yeah, I think he'll come back. Yeah.
Nobody can ever get cancelled on TikTok, and that's a fact. You could say the worst of the worst. Last night, Evil Queen sat there and spoke the worst of the worst out of her mouth about Gracie. It was horrendous. She'll never get cancelled.
What the hell? No, she won't. It seems to be accepted when it comes out of her mouth, though, doesn't it? You know what I mean? No, people turn a blind eye to what she says.
I was just going to say that I didn't watch her last night, but I've been scrolling through the FYP today and I haven't seen anything about EQ. It's all been Dan and Blaster.
Oh, so someone said that the message Blaster got was him saying he'd be back today. That was his message to Blaster, that he's back today.
OG Mikey's asking you a question. Will you be platforming him, Angie?
That'll be none of your business. No one tells me what I can and can't do. You'll be sitting you'll probably all be sitting with him in 2 weeks, like usual.
Can I just pick up on the back of that? OG Mikey, right? You've only got a problem with Dan because Bri was having conversations off app with him and you got jealous. So don't even go there. You're jealous, OG Mikey.
And everyone in these comments in Blaster's comments saying, oh, don't platform him. I hope you never do this. I hope you never do that. I can guarantee you they will either be watching Dan directly if he does come on later, or they'll be watching someone come to him. And it can't affect you that much if that's what you're still doing, because you should be starving him then.
Yeah, people need to just not talk about him, because that's...
Yeah.
That's what I don't get about this outing, Briggy. Like, oh, we're outing him, we're doing this, we're doing that. I know that hasn't come from Blasters, but in both lots of comments, people, when I've asked, like, why has this been brought to the app again? It's, oh, they're outing him. But it's got to the point now, whoever's going to sit with Dan is going to continue to sit with Dan. Whoever's not is not. You're not really, you might change one person's mind at this point, but you're not bringing no brand new revelation to the app. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Briggy, what actually happened? So when you went into Blasters, did you get shut down automatically by her mod?
Yeah, because I forgot when I went in the box, because in the comments there was something said, and I thought, oh, I'll go up. Someone was like in the box beforehand. I can't even remember what she said now, and I thought, oh, I'll go up and say something. And in the comments, they were all like atting me, going, oh, Angie sat with him, but yeah, not for 6 months. And I was trying to get my words out, and they were saying, oh, well, you had this energy last night, and I couldn't remember what I said. And I knew that I'd been saying about the energy because I didn't know the context of it, of what had happened originally. So obviously we spoke about that last night, didn't we? And then I forgot that I'd said, what was it? That
Guys, can we get the harmonies for the popular gift?
my brain's gone to mush today already. I've forgotten what I'd said. And so I owned it because I did say it. I do think that she sat with him for the longest time while he was doing all of this. So why, outing him? But those messages, about the clapper, like, why did you only told Angie because it suited you, basically? And it's true. She did only out it a couple of days ago, didn't she? And it was only because for her.
Apparently, no, Briggy, with that one, someone did question her on this the other night, and Blaster said that she only got the message and the proof literally an hour or two before she brought it to the app.
That's bollocks. Sorry.
I don't believe that. Blaster sits on things. On things, and she brings it when she feels it's convenient for her.
She's always like, oh, I've got this information, I've got that information on someone. Yeah, okay then, Blaster.
No. Blaster sits on everything, please believe me. She's a very conniving lady. She's a very she'll sit on everything, and she'll bring it when she wants to bring it.
How did I try and backtrack on what? I owned it and then I got kicked out. I don't know if they heard me say that, but it's while I was getting kicked out. So Jess, I did say that.
I was listening and I didn't hear you own it. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't hear that.
That's probably because I got out then. She kicked me out before as I was saying it.
I'm just being honest. I'm not throwing you under the bus. I'm just being honest. I didn't hear
that's fine. No, because it was as I was going out. Because when you come out of somewhere, out of a box, and it goes loud, doesn't it?
Yeah, and you hear yourself of something you said a minute ago.
Yeah, so I just didn't get to say it, but I was saying it as obviously I thought I'd try and say it before I got kicked out, but it didn't happen.
Ricky, me and you have our back and forth. I'm going to back you on this one. As soon as you went in, you were shut down.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to say anything, and when I get like that, I get nervous, and it's kind of like all my words go all over the place. But fuck 'em, I've owned it now. I'm saying it live, so it's still the same thing. Yes, I did say that, and she did hold on to that information. Just because I'm not saying it in a box now, it's because I got kicked out and I couldn't say it. So yes, I did say it.
Ricky, don't look at the comments, right? Comments will always rage bait. Let me tell you something. When you went in there, the proof is in the pudding. You tried to explain what you wanted to put out there, and boom, you was booted out straight away.
I was, yeah. Oh, fucker.
Well, there you go. So, are me and you friends now? Are we besties, Ricky? Or...
Besties?
Today or not?
Claire, last night I did say I was going to get T-shirts printed with I Love Duffy because I now think I'm one of your fans now.
Thank you, my darling. Oh, yes. Oh, there we go. Look, I've just told you, Briggy, not to look at the comments, but I've just seen something. I don't stand on anything. Well,
it is hard sometimes.
What do you want me to do? Swing around the lamppost outside?
But don't go back on it though, Claire. You can't distance yourself. Like, if he comes back to the app, you can't then, start supporting him again.
But I'm not saying that it's right if people do support, and it's not right. But Briggy, who are we as grown adults to say it's not right if you start supporting them? Because put it into perspective, we've all had a family member, and if you haven't, or a friend or whatever who's done wrong, not saying this is the case. If people want to forgive him and want to think, do you know what, I'm seeing a change in you, then we've got to just as adults respect that, I think. Not that it means it's right or it's wrong. We just need to have an open mind.
And do you know what, Lucy? You just hit the nail on the head there, because if Dan comes back, a brand new person comes back on the app and he's like, you know what, this is me, right? Listen, who are we to say that that man, at this point, no. Will I sit with Dan? Absolutely not. If he came on today and he was the same way that he is, if he comes back and he's amazing and he's a different man, which I know Dan can be, everybody else has said it who has met him in the real life, that is not the Dan. But am I going to say that if he comes back different, yes, I would go and say hello to him, but that you can't keep kicking a man when he's down. You can't keep kicking a man. Let him go off the app, let him get the right help, come back refreshed and start again.
Yeah, but Claire, he's never going to change. But like I shouldn't have said, sorry, you shouldn't support him, but it's just it's the energy that you have. Like 1 minute you are a bit of a flip-flop, Claire, I'm not going to lie. Like you were like all over him.
It's a little bit like
after
you,
you know.
Yes, but hold on. I know what you're going to say about my children. He said this about my kids. Yes, he did. We spoke.
But he said it a few times about your kids, hasn't he, Claire?
No, he said it once and once only. He was going to drag them out of their beds once.
Again, I think if someone, like I've heard, I don't know if this is true, but I have heard on the app that Cockapoo has accepted Dan's apology to her. If people want to accept Dan's apology directly to them and what they've done to that person, then again, who are we as adults to say it's right or wrong?
And we can't say that people ain't going to change. We can't say that. That is, we don't know what's going on. That must have been horrendous for him to wake up with his animals and his windows absolutely smashed in. I'm sorry.
They weren't all smashed in. They're double glazed. It was the outside panel that was smashed.
Briggy, doesn't make a difference. You've got
no,
children.
Of course not. It's not nice.
Got animals right there. Do you not think that animals have feelings? Animals have feelings.
Of course. I know animals have got feelings. I've got 3 dogs. I know they have feelings. But you've got to look at your own behaviour as well. Like, for 6 months, his behaviour's been rotten. From day one, he's come on the app. And, I'm not saying it's okay. I'm really not. But if you behave in that kind of manner, people are going to do stuff. I'm sorry, but it happens everywhere. It's the same if, you're a predator or whatever. Stuff like that happens. And if you put yourself in that position, then you've only got yourself to blame. Like, don't...
There's like Pearl in there now.
But this is where I think as well...
Everybody mute.
No apologies.
Kicking up.
Wipe his butthole on that. There ain't no friendships coming because me and other friends tried so hard behind the scenes.
She never. She loved it.
He walked away.
She loved it.
He did because he couldn't take criticism off me. He told me to go and F myself. That's what he told me to go and do, and that was fine, absolutely fine.
Can I ask this question?
Well, I've done that. Go and
When you went behind the
dad,
scenes,
you fucking cunt.
when you went
Watch
behind
you
the
fuck
scenes
right fucking off.
with Dan on the phone calls,
And I hope he's got a
why
fucking
did you all
syphilis
drag
stick.
Alex when he had to do it online in front of thousands?
Because they were
Because
friends.
again, you're missing the point. Corey fetched it to the app. So it was fetched to the app and we questioned it. And why I went on a rampage so much is I was the one getting called a liar. Me. And I proved on every account I was no liar. That's why I went on, because I kept getting called day in and day out I was a liar. That's what I went on about.
Why are you saying you're justifying yourself?
I know I want to answer these questions because all of a sudden, because they can't get to Dan, they think they're going to get to me. Well, think again. Nobody's getting to me on no point. I've got nothing to feel bad about. And one thing I ain't, I'm not a liar. And I was getting called daily a liar. And that's what I proved. Nothing more and nothing less. Oh, here she is, our cardboard cutout.
Oh, God. Right. All I'm going to say is let's give the energy to Dan, because now we're all talking about Pearl and Dan.
Exactly, it's a platform
It's all gone
thing.
off topic. Do you know what I mean? It's like
It was
So
all
again,
to do with
I'll
about
just put
Dan.
it out there. I did not condone not one thing that was said. I didn't back him on anything, but because, and as you call it, going behind the scenes, because he was a real life friend, I could speak to him off the app. I could only advise him, and then I all of a sudden was just getting sick of how many times I was coming on and saying, "Come on, Dan, don't do this. You've got a lovely platform. You're destroying everybody around you, and you don't think anything of your friends when you keep saying these things."
Platform though. He had a bunch of people who enabled his bad behaviour. Let's get it right.
Her.
He's a horrible person, and the people in his life were horrible as well.
That was Pearl.
But then equally, a bunch of people that was watching TG's videos every morning and watching him cam to him. So she was giving him attention as well. This is what drives me mad.
Guys, did you actually see what just happened?
I can't stand Top Girl. She's a two-faced person.
They're all hypocrites, honestly. They're hypocrites, honestly.
You feel I enabled him, that's fine, that's fine. You have your thoughts, I've got mine. I don't have to feel bad about anybody. But again, as well, nobody's going to force me to like somebody on the app that I don't like.
Can I just point out something here? The part that confuses me is that Pearl can do stuff in private and off app, but the second it comes to me, Alex, Lottie and Jay, that had to all be done on app.
No,
Everything
you
has to be
fetched
done
it to the
on
app.
app. Shut up, dog. I'm not speaking to you.
You fetched it to the app.
Everything had to be done on app. He was not allowed to do anything in
you
private.
fetched
So
it
you
to
are allowed.
the
No,
app.
I didn't do jack shit.
You
And you
fetched
know I
it
didn't.
to the app, you.
No, I didn't. And you know
You
I didn't.
did.
You wanted all of us to do everything publicly on app, but it's all right for you to do whatever you want off app. Just so I'm completely clear.
I asked you, I said,
Just so
right,
I'm
stop it
completely
if it
clear.
hasn't been said.
You are allowed to
If
do
it
whatever you
hasn't
want
been
off app,
said,
but when it comes to any of us, it has to be on app.
If it
Is that
hasn't been
correct?
said, but that recording.
Are you not going to let me speak, or are you just going to carry on? Okay, cool. You carry on. Let me know when I can speak.
Yeah. Go on.
You'd do better, Pearl. As a grown adult.
Cloud Chase, you've had your say. You go and wash your knickers again, and like you just said,
See, there you go.
and go and take
There
your
you
face
go.
that shit while you want. Leave me alone. I don't want your opinion. I don't like you. Don't speak to me, please. I've answered your questions. I'm not answering no more. I'm not answering no more.
The feeling's mutual.
Exactly. So don't speak to us. Thank you very much, kindly.
Speak to me, because I'm a grown adult.
Exactly. Thank you.
You're pathetic.
Right back at you, girl.
Yeah, thank you.
Well
I
done.
can knit and crochet those sweets, I can make anything. Lots of this was brought to the app with Dan and Pearl and Red and the rest of them. I didn't say they enabled him, but what annoyed me was why Alex and Corey were dragged. All their conversations were done behind the scenes, but Corey and Alex had to bring it to the app. This wasn't brought to the app. This was a conversation that Corey and Alex had on the telephone, which nobody else will ever hear that recording. I think you're missing the point. Corey brought it to the app. That's what you're missing.
Right, but again, everything was done on the app with Dan. But now she's allowed to take that off app and discuss it in private.
I agree what you're saying, but Jojo, nobody knew about that phone call if it weren't for Corey.
I haven't denied that. I know I brought it to the app. I never once said I didn't. But then she wanted all of that to be discussed on app. We was not allowed to have private conversations between ourselves.
When did
It
I
had to
say
be done
that?
on app. Yes, you did. You said it loads of times.
When did I say that? No, I said bring the phone call. If you're saying it hasn't been said and you can click
You
Alex's
dragged that
name.
out for months. And now you're trying to bury Dan
No,
and everything
no.
that Dan has done for
Right.
the past couple of months. You're trying to bury it all in one day. It's
I'm
not gonna
not.
happen.
He deserves dragon. He deserves dragon. He deserves everything he gets. That's what I'm saying.
You said yesterday that you were never going to be friends with him again, and then you went back on yourself and said you'd be friends in the future.
What you're on about? No, see, this is this record now played in a bit. No, it never said that. Not in a lifetime would I ever be friends. And no apologies going to cut it. And me,
She did say that. She did say that.
on
Yeah.
this. She chose to accept his apology but not forgive.
Line against
I've
her.
not chose to accept no apology, and I don't want to forgive, and I don't want to move on. So no, what I was saying was all the voices was talking. I've got the video here to play later. And I turned around and I think it was T you called her, turned around and said, yous were friends, you used to meet up and you used to go for meals together and I said, and I plan to in the future as well. I planned
to. I'm going to let you listen and get it slowed down. I plan to. Now, he hasn't got the boxing tickets. I've took that right away because Fraser's got one and Chantel's got the other. He's not coming anywhere near us. So that's what I was saying, and I plan to again. So, but that is out the window. He's not allowed.
Chantal's back in the picture. I thought she couldn't cope with drama.
Oh yeah, I know that Rubber Duck. I supported Rubber Duck. Yeah, when she was walking up the street, like she couldn't deal with it anymore. Now I've just realised it's a storyline.
Absolutely.
There's a storyline. You want attention onto you. Attention. I actually had your back on that, thinking, oh, poor woman.
Angie, as soon as Dan's gone out the picture, Rubber Duck straight back in there.
So she can't deal with the drama. Oh, the drama.
I've planned my funeral. I don't want nobody there. I'll boo-hoo you, Rubber Duck. You're full of crap.
But do you know what, though, Claire? This is what I was saying earlier about Dan. However the message has got to Blaster saying Dan's coming back today, they're just rolling out the red carpet for him now and allowing him to come back with a bang because they're giving him the attention he wanted.
Yes.
Blaster knows what she's doing. I think with Blaster, it's just content. She loves the drama. And she's using a trauma for a storyline. That's what I see, anyway. Why would you put a poster out there? Why are you doing you're doing the most?
Blaster, I am so sorry I didn't know anything about any of this.
Okay, can we get back to what he actually said to Blaster? Sorry, Blaster, for coming.
Thank you for letting me off.
No, it's okay, thank you.
We're just doing it all for views, content.
I'm sorry for getting annoyed. Bless you, darling.
No, it just totally went off topic, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, sorry. Big loves to you anyway, Blaster. We're here for you, darling. Bye-bye, honey.
Angie.
Sorry if I went off topic, but it also was going to involve the Down situation. But obviously they all jumped in and wanted to have this.
And was you on to in this morning when a lady jumped in her box and said, I don't know what she said, but she said, I feel for you, Blaster, because my son had the condition that Blaster's had as well. Alex added her in the comments, so she replied, and Blaster just dropped this lady. But I think what people don't understand at this point is if that lady's lost a child for the same condition that Blaster's child passed away from, it's horrific. And it's not just Blaster it's affected everybody, like it's affected other people that have had children with those conditions. But Blaster just dropped her for the box because she responded to Alex.
Wow.
Yeah, so Alex added her in the comments and she responded back to her and she went, I'm sorry, we're not going about the comments, it's not about that, and then literally just dropped her. And I felt so sorry for this lady because, as you know, I've gone through my own stuff in life with a child. I'm not going to go too much into it, and my daughter's current condition, and I just thought, do you know what, that woman has got up there to support you, to show some compassion and empathy, and you've just dropped her because she replied to Alex.
She's really biased, Blaster. And the fact that she had to put a poster out to say she'll be live at 10 for a second blast, whatever she's put it, it's a game to her. It's a storyline, it's a game, it's drama, it's content, and it's views. Why on earth would you need to put a poster out there, say, hi guys, second lot of coming, exciting, gossip coming. It's disgusting what she's doing. Open your eyes as to what she's doing. It's content for her.
Angie, she's kicking off. Quick, come to her.
Let's see.
Okay.
It's not kicking off.
Yeah, I'm alright. Right, I'll read it again. This was as I was live yesterday, playing music, minding my own business.
Have a laugh, Blaster.
He said, can't wait to go live tomorrow with Marie's mother's headstone. He also said, do you think she's going to have one over on me, does she? And yes, this is after his apology. This is after the post. Just because she's got a dead plastic child, if you put an S in front of that, you know what that means. And then he's put, we'll see, with laughing faces. No one gets one over on me. Sitting there smirking. Now, at the time, Ellen had joined my box because we were having a music live. Just minding our own business, having a music live. Ellen joined the box. Oh, and he also did turn around and say he was going to break in and pinch my son's ashes. And then Ellen had joined the box, and he had said, I'll pay someone, go in and actually grape her. The rest of it is basically pathetic little feel sorry for me messages.
I'm sorry. I still think it's content for her. I still think it's content for Blaster because I can't help but think, why did she put a poster
why have
out?
you got a problem with
I still can't wonder why she put a poster out saying I'll be live at 10, and then she put second. What did she put on it? Second lock coming or something, incoming or something. She put like it's EastEnders, like it's a big. You know what I mean? But if this is about your trauma, love. This is about all of that. Why do you have to put a poster out to let everyone know? The second lock. It doesn't make sense to me. To me, it's content.
100%, Angie. You've just said it. Listen, why would you put a poster out there if you are really distressed and you're traumatized? Speak about it in one live. Why are you doing segment after segment? Because we're going from segment after segment. Why put posters out?
Yeah.
Because she's drawing people into her room. That's what she wants.
Yes, building up a platform.
100%.
I agree.
But
I don't think she's affected as people think she is.
I don't understand why Joey's sending these messages to her, because he knows what reaction it's going to get.
But Joey's done Dan dirty. He's done him dirty. Don't forget, Joey shared the bed with this man. He knows everything about Dan.
But Dan obviously feels like, for some reason, whatever's going on behind the scenes, we're never going to know the truth of it, okay? But whatever's going on behind the scenes, Dan obviously still has, or thinks he has, a reason to trust Joey. Otherwise, he wouldn't be texting these to Joey. Do you see what I'm saying?
I don't know. Honestly, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
I'm starting to think they're all bloody involved in it. Weird. What the person? Blaster's going to out it. So do you think Blaster's involved in the story? Because it doesn't make sense to me.
Well, AB, I'm not saying he meant it about Blaster, but AB said on Blaster's Live this morning, when you come off your shop, Angie, it just flicked onto hers, and he said that he believes there's more than Joey and Dan involved in this, and that he thinks that the truth will come out because there are more people involved. And I don't think he's wrong.
I don't think anyone's involved in anything. They love their little good conspiracy. I think what's happened is he got pissed. He said disgusting things. He has an obsession with Joey. He's probably taken the piss, hoping that Joey's going to send it to Blaster, so Blaster will know and piss her off. Do you know what I mean? I don't think there's anything behind it where there's people involved and they've got these little plans. I think he honestly just got drunk and he said shit. Yeah. And he's, he sent the message probably to Joey to piss her off.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. 100%.
Yeah, who probably knew? She probably told him to send it to her. I don't think anyone's involved. AB is all about conspiracies. Get a grip, man. And
Angie, at this point, AB is going to use anything to take the focus off him and what him and Corey did. Let's not get it twisted. You spoke on children, AB, and you, Corey. Let's not get it twisted.
Yeah. I agree. And don't you think Blaster started all that shit yesterday, by the way? A game. She's trying to start a game. She's trying to start a game. She's trying to start a game today. She was the one that started yesterday. With a clapper. Do you know what I mean? If Blaster didn't want this to be a storyline, if Blaster didn't want to do it for views, if Blaster didn't want to do it for content, if Blaster said she's a woman's woman, why didn't she send me about the clapper in a private message? Why did it have to be a big segment on TikTok? Come in.
Yeah, that I do agree with. You should have come to you personally.
I don't know. I'm just finding it hard to even believe she's affected by the things that you said. I find it hard because it just seems like segment after segment.
Ow, Angie, none of them are affected. I don't know why people keep saying people are affected. I'm sick of listening to it. You're not affected. If you was affected, you'd stay off the app and go and seek some help. Right? Stop it. Stop bringing storylines onto the app. Stop it, man. You are not affected. When I get affected, I pull myself away from everybody. I go into my own zone. Stop blaming. I'm traumatized. Well, if you're traumatized, jump off the app, love, and go and see your local GP ASAP.
Yeah.
I think what he said about her son is vile,
Oh,
and
yeah,
everyone
about
knows that.
that I would probably agree. Yeah, because that's disgusting. But the rest
Yeah.
of things he said to her, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know
no.
what I'm talking about.
But this is the thing, Ange. If someone had said that to me, they could have said 500 million things to me. But if they mentioned one thing about a deceased child, that would be the one thing I would home on down constantly, and I wouldn't talk about anything else because that one thing would cut me deeper than anything.
100%.
Yeah. What did he say? Oh, yeah, no, don't need to repeat it. I remember now, yeah. Forgot what he said for a sec, but yeah. But the rest of it, why did it even start? What happened with him and Blaster? I don't even know how it all started.
She called him out, didn't she? She called him out on something, and then he went back at her. I don't know what it was, but she went against. I think he said something wrong.
The pictures. That was it.
And then it weren't about her. It was about somebody else. And then she went for him, and then it was a back and forwards.
Yeah. He said it was nothing to do with RP. He didn't say RP, but I can't remember what he said now.
Hi, Ange. It was to do with the photos. Hi, everybody. It was to do with the photos, you know, like with your Papa photos as well. It was the same time.
Right.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
But I've been thinking, and Dan got quite popular very quickly because of some of the behaviours that he were doing. People liked it, and I think there's a hint of jealousy there with some other creators that have wanted to get him off the app, and they've been trying, and there were only sort of Pearl that stood by him, but they're still continuing to keep him off the app even though he's taking a break. And how do we know that these messages that Joey's outing are truly Dan's? How do we know they've not been manipulated? You know, I just I don't know, I've got an open mind on it.
I mean, I did think that myself about the messages, Nick, but then I thought about it, and if someone was saying Nick, Dan said these messages, I have no doubt he would have jumped in and screamed and shouted and say that, no, I didn't send them.
No, I'm sorry.
Now, I know the fame's gone to his head a bit, and I know he was struggling with how quickly the money you were making and stuff. And it's like anybody who becomes sort of not famous, but recognised very quickly in the public eye. You know, some can deal with it, some can't. It's like people who win lottery and blow it all in 3 weeks, you know, and I think he's one of them. He's got a very addictive personality, and I think he's genuinely unwell and he needs help. I don't think he's done anything maliciously.
Nick, please can we just change that one word, because fame just didn't sit right with me there.
I'm sorry. Nick. I'm going to have to come back at you with something. Listen, right. At the end of the day, we all know that these big creators platformed him, right? Let's not say Angie, because Angie didn't platform him. It was Red. Pearl was the one that platformed him in the beginning. She brought him onto the scene, right? Then we've got Red. Then we've got Lou.
I agree.
Etc., etc. Now, when you say, which I've got to disagree, that money got to him, well, I'm sorry. If I was getting the amount of money that he was getting, I'd be a happy soul, and I wouldn't be using those words. Now, as much as I still think a lot of Dan, do I disagree with him? Absolutely. Will I sit?
They made this platform, yeah.
But Nick, I feel like you've just right there said what everybody wants to hear. And
Can I just say though, I did platform him, not as much as Pearl. I here and there. I wasn't friends with him off TikTok like Pearl was. I didn't have the closest. But however, I called his behaviour out what he said to Just Nana, and I called his behaviour out what he said to Miss Pink Menace, and that's when I was sober. Did I call it out last night? Well, that night, no, because I was so bloody intoxicated. I wasn't even there half the time. But however, when I was sober, I called his behaviour out. They didn't. They sat with him, protected him.
But this is the thing, Ange, and some people are going to disagree here, but we can all say, blame the creators for platforming him, as everyone likes to say. But if the viewers wasn't watching these creators platform him, if the viewers wasn't watching the videos played, if the viewers wasn't going into Dan's and laughing at the very beginning, it wouldn't have got to this stage. So the viewers are equally to as blame as the creators.
It wasn't that for me. It was them. They didn't call it out. They just laughed about it. What he said to Miss, Just Nana, Pearl sat by him. You know, you didn't call it out, Pearl. Neither did we, Miss. No, none of you wanted to talk on your FYP because you were his friend. Because you were his friends. That's the problem. I feel he got away with all his behaviour because he wasn't being dragged. He wasn't like I get dragged. You know, and Miss Red does that. She did it about Alex Brigham, never dragged his behaviour. Did it with Corey, never dragged his behaviour. And they do it over and over again. And Miss Red supported him. Right, those are people you need to go for. Why didn't they call his behaviour out? Because maybe he wouldn't have done what he done if he knew he was going to call his behaviour out.
Could I just jump in real quick?
Yeah, hello.
Hi, love. I'm not stopping, but I've just messaged Dan about these messages that were received after he apologised. They were right after his window was put through. So they weren't after he apologised. They were in the early hours of the morning, and that's all I'm saying on it. If you want proof, ask him. I'm sure he'll give it to you.
All right, thank you.
That's all right. Can you pick me up,
This
love?
is what I'm saying about Joey manipulating it. Because if I sent Ange a text message and say, oh, Nick messaged me this 2 minutes ago, Ange would go, oh, okay, should have no reason to disbelieve you.
So basically, if you just
But Dan thought Blaster had arranged his windows to go through, not Corey. He thought Blaster had put his windows through.
Hold on a minute. Hold on, Angie. I want to know why Ghost, who runs a professional boxing event venue, right, would own up to putting windows in.
I think what happened with Ghost, I think it was just owning up to something he didn't do. You know, taking the piss probably. I don't think it was anything to do with him.
I don't think he would sacrifice his whole career.
No. But like I said, a confession on TikTok means shit. You know, it really doesn't. That's what I was trying to say about the Rob situation. You know, he's just taking the piss. He's trolling, isn't he? I think he's just fucking trolling. He never did it. And he knows there's no proof that he did it because there's none. He didn't do it. I reckon Blaster had it done.
I agree with that. I think the orders of the food went first. That was the confirmation of his address. So that's when the brick went in, if you remember. So the food orders, it confirmed.
But if you just joined, guys, so Blaster saying these messages that were sent to Chicky Talker, this was after he had his windows smashed in. That's when he said what he said in the message to Joey. It wasn't today or recently. So obviously he was at a height of anger, wasn't he? You know, when you get angry.
Yeah, so it's not after his apology at all. It's before any of that.
However, he shouldn't have still said about the gravestone. He said something about a grave.
I don't agree with the content. You're right, Angie. I don't agree with the content. And Claire is right about who platformed him. They're quite right. They supported him. They encouraged him. Nobody called him out in their FYPs. Some of them didn't even play his videos. Angie, you played everything and discussed everything.
Nick,
and they want to sit there and blame me. Never.
Nick, the first lady that brought him on here, and she went side by side with him. She brought him in as a tag team, was Pearl.
Yep.
Then it went to Red, then Luke, and all of them platformed him. When he started to become vile, they still platformed him.
They were laughing. When did they know he was going in on me, doxing my address and all this shit, saying the worst on me, because we did have beef at the first. They said they're laughing about it. When they said about Just Nana, Pearl turned around and I'm going to still stand by him, even though he said what he said to Just Nana. Miss Red never spoke on it either. None of them did. If they'd spoken on it, and I think it doesn't matter who platforms a person, right? But however, you should have called him out for the shit he was saying. But Miss Red never called Alex out, Corey out, none of her friends. If anyone's, and you got to remember, no one's responsible but Dan himself. It came out of his mouth, no one else's. However, none of them called it out. They cannot come from me and say I'm the enabler. No, you built his platform and you stood by him for 6 months when he was coming for me, when he was coming for the people you didn't like. And now look what happened. Oh, wrong uns, the lot of you.
Listen, I don't regret gifting him. I don't regret what I went through with him. I don't regret any of it. That night, what he did was the worst of the worst. And that's when I chose to step away. Now, anybody that says it's a little bit too late, what more do you want? I've said we're moving away from him until he comes back a better person. And I do believe he'll come back a better person. I really do. Because let me tell you,
I give it 3 weeks before they all start singing his boxes again.
How much do you want to bet, Android? They'll all be battling him.
I'll give it 4 weeks. I guarantee Pearl's still talking to him.
I don't think it helps that Joey's on this app either, Claire, because I just think that it antagonises, because he's hurt for that relationship because they were truly in love with Joey.
Yeah, and the thing was Pearl and Miss Red and all that lot, yeah, they wait until it blows over. Once it blows over and there's another drama, then they say, oh, okay, we're safe now. Let's start battling Dan. We'll do it subtly, you know, have a few arguments maybe in the box, do it subtly, and then we can, you know, become friends again. Nobody would notice. You know, there'll be a new drama in it. That's what they're waiting for it to blow over.
Everybody's going to go for me now, Angie, but I don't care. Listen to this. You know, the only thing that upset me, right, was the plastic elastic with the S on the front. You know what I'm saying?
What did he say there? I don't actually know what he said there.
That word for me broke my heart because he knows I've got a disabled son. So for me, that hurt me. Now,
who did he say it about though?
He went in. He called who was it? Blaster. He said to Blaster, "You're a elastic."
Blaster.
Yeah, but he uses that word quite freely.
I think he said it about her son, though, didn't he? Which is what I was saying earlier about it being so wrong. But it also, obviously, I know the words were said to Blaster, but there's, like Claire said, there's many people on this app who have children, family members that have disabled children or parents or relatives, and that word's very, very, I don't know, I don't want to say affects, but it kind of pours people's hearts a little bit, doesn't it, really, for words like that. So it affects everybody, I think.
Oh, for God's sake. Did he say that when he was up that night with me, or did he say nothing?
I think it was in one of the messages.
You wasn't there. You'd gone. I think you weren't in the room. A lot of what was said, Angie, you wasn't.
You were talking to your mum, Angie.
I was talking to my mum. Oh, for God's sake. No one even said, I probably wasn't reading my comments. People were probably telling me, but I wasn't reading them.
Yeah, everyone was telling you, to be fair.
What's this? Who's this from?
Oh, Red's talking on you now, apparently.
Back up, loves here.
Right, I'm going to drop down now, guys. Anyway, thanks for having me.
Bye, Nick.
See you, love. Bye.
Is that new?
Yeah. But that's from someone else. So I don't know who it is.
There was a video posted like that before, just the day before EQ come back, but then she didn't actually mention Dan when she come back, did she?
No, and she blanked him. Do you remember? She blanked him.
Let's get these.
Yeah. And then she said about him being so desperate for her attention. Do you remember?
Guys, we're getting homies and we're not even got it on the popular. What's going on?
Piss off and just tap the screen.
We're not even on popular, guys. What's going on? You're not saying anything about me, Miss Red.
Oh dear, thank you, Sarah. Big up.
Blaster has threatened me. Oh, has she? Because I don't take threats too kindly, Blaster. Oh, has she now? Let me have a look. Blaster. Actually, I should not read the comments because we know what the comments can be like.
Blaster's not.
Please stop mixing and causing shit in the comments. Okay, she hasn't. She's not even live, love. She wants to threaten me. I'll get my mother and myself to report her to the popo because we're not Den, love. We are not Den.
Stop stirring in.
And then I'll call the oh, wait a minute. People are probably stirring shit. Stop it. She never. Piss off, guys. Stop it. Gonna get me mad.
No,
I don't take threats kindly. I'm not Dan. Oh, Dan sent me a message. I assume Dan sent me to read these out. This is the messages from him and Joey. I assume he sent me it to read these messages out. So he's put, no one ever gets one over. This is him. No one ever gets one over on me, sitting there smirking. And Ellen, watch. I'll pay someone going and actually. Oh.
No. See what I mean? There's no change.
No, this is the day. This is the day he had his windows done. 5:03 in the morning.
Oh, that's the day. Yeah. Well, obviously he was intoxicated, wasn't he?
I'm gonna see. Is this to read out? One sec. That's actually pretty bad. Let me just let him reply because I don't like to dox people's messages regardless of what people. Do you know what I mean? No one will ever have anything on me on the set. But I just read them out. Oh, okay, I can read them out then. Okay. So, this is what we've missed.
Do they actually have a date on them, Ange? Do the messages have a date at the top of the screen? Does it say like yesterday or today or a date?
No, I think it's at 5 or 3 in the morning. Could have been like that night, innit?
Right.
So
Yeah.
it says, no one ever gets one over on me. This is from him. Sitting there smirking, and Ellen, watch. I'll pay someone going in, actually grape her. Here's put, are you still drunk? Daniel, for fuck's sake, that's him. Here's put, give us something, strike a bell. I wanted to be nice. I wanted you, me, as the animal, the house and everything. Now all I have is my empire of nothing. But I'll surface. 'Cause you got in my head again. And I meant a lot them wrong. It's a bit, because he's a bit drunk here, isn't it? Fuck off too. Everyone's gone now. It's just me, myself and I. He's put, what's happened? Dan has put, Marie's had my windows out through. Blaster, that is. Anyway, I found her mum's grave.
Oh, gosh.
He's put, Ghost has said he's done it. Now, this is the day. So basically, I don't know what Blaster is saying, but these are the messages when he was still drunk. This is when he had his windows smashed in. It's not today. It's not yesterday. It's the day he had his windows smashed at 5 in the morning. Okay, I've got the
5
time.
a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, so he's not, no, I'm not saying it's an excuse. I'm saying it's not another message where he's put it out today. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you've got to get the timeline.
I'm not defending. I'm just saying it's not today. It's the day he had his windows done. Ghost has done it. Ghost said he's done it. This is from Joey. Then Daniel's put, that's being done over tomorrow. It's from her. I'm literally going to pay someone to break into her house and steal her. Oh, it says her unalived kid's ashes. And then he's put, ha, ha, ha. And then he's put Daniel. He's what everyone's going to see what evil. And then that's it. I don't see the rest. So that's what he's put. Oh my gosh, till unalived ashes she's put here.
Wow.
That's not it. That's what I've got. That's what he sent me. And he's just saying that's a day. Well, that's what the lady said. That I've got a name that to message him. He had his windows done. All I'm saying, it was at 5 in the morning. It says 5 in the morning. So that's the day. There's no date on it. It's 5 in the morning. That's all I got on here, the time. No date. Can't see no date. He said after his apology, listen, it could be this morning. I don't know. I'm just saying what that lady came in the box and said. It was after he'd done his windows, and all I've got is let me tell him, have you got date? I'll skip. He can send the date. No date means nothing. I know today. No dates means today. No, it's because what it is, it's covered up. Not covered up. It's you can't really see it because there's more. You can see that there's more messages above. It's like he's taking a screenshot of just these messages here. So the date's not showing, if that makes sense. Blazer said it was yesterday. When was the day we had that drink? It wasn't yesterday, the day before yesterday? Was it? Guys? Hello? So it wasn't yesterday.
Ange, so it was 5
Thursday.
a.m., wasn't it? So yesterday.
So that would be yesterday, yeah, in the morning. That wouldn't mean he was still drunk, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was still intoxicated.
Yeah, so that was pretty much the day of when he got drunk. Okay, yes, it was the next day, but it was when he was still. And no, I'm not. You're saying it's an excuse. I'm just saying
We're not excusing him, Angie, but it was while he was under the influence.
Yeah, he was under the influence. But however, I don't say that shit when I'm drunk. I'm not going to lie.
I agree.
You know, things like that don't come out of my mouth. It's like me. I wouldn't be racist. You know, if you're racist under the influence of alcohol, that's the person you are, right? So, you know, these are the things I'd never say. I could be out of my head. Do you know what I mean? I'd never say those things.
Can I just address some of the comments? Nobody here is excusing Dan's behaviour.
I said the S word, FYP, about myself. Go and report me to the police. It was about myself.
You you know what I mean? You're literally saying we're excusing it. No, people have walked away. Dan's off the app. Stop coming for blood, because please believe me, if you want to go for somebody, go to Pearl, go to Red, go to Luke.
Yep. They enabled him like they did Alex.
And
No, Alex is fine now, but at the time, and Corey, they enable all their behaviour.
Hold on, Red's come to him right now. Listen to me, Miss Red. Yeah, you did not call his dirty behaviour right from the day one. You never played it. You said that you can't talk about it. You even said to him, off app, I'm sorry, but I felt like I was going to laugh. Facts.
Who said that?
Don't even go there, Red. Don't even go there, Red.
Yeah.
You listened to me, Red. You platformed him, and you absolutely did not call anything out on his bad behaviour.
The thing is, Miss Red, I went one day, when I was out my head myself on alcohol, right? So I zone out and all this. Believe it or not, I don't care. One day, and I called him out when he went for Miss Pink Menace. I called him out when he went for Just Nan about the non-spit. I called him out. I said it was disgusting. I called both things out. Everything. I called it out. I was playing his videos. He hated me. He kept arguing with me, saying, Angie, you're like the weather. You keep switching on me. I'm not switching on you, Dan. It's because I'm calling out your behaviour. I called out your behaviour, but however, I don't need to completely walk away from you. I can call your behaviour out. This is what I said to him. I can call your behaviour out and still be okay with you on TikTok. You remember, I don't have friends, so he was never a friend anyway. So that's what I said to him. I can still be friends with you. Still stay, in contact with you on TikTok and call out your behaviour. That's what I was saying to him. I am the only one who was calling his behaviour out. Miss Red, you didn't call out Corey. You didn't call out Alex. And you didn't call out Dan because you're friends with him. You didn't call out what he said to Justin. No, you didn't call him out about what he said to Pink Menace. Never did Pearl. You two enabled his behaviour.
She played none of the clips.
None of
his
them.
clips.
No, and he thought he can get away with it because no one called him out. I'll get away with it again. But don't get me wrong, I'll keep saying this though, Dan. No one's really responsible but him. It came out of his mouth. However, they want to come for me saying I'm enabling him. If you want to use that word, no, that's you and Pearl. Yeah, you want to use me as an scapegoat because I'm intoxicated yesterday. I couldn't even remember half things I was saying. So that was absolutely.
Come to all you want, Red. Come to all you want.
Hi, Savage. Let me do it back. Yeah.
So all he sent me the screenshots for was to show you the time, because it's being put out that he sent those after he had put his public apology out.
It wasn't 5 in the morning. It was 5 in the yesterday morning, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right then. So there you go, guys. It was when he was still intoxicated. But however, I still don't agree with it because I don't say those things when I'm intoxicated.
Well, no one's saying that they agree with it, but it's also not right to be trying to pile more on top of him.
Yeah. If
you're going to put stuff out, tell the truth.
We're going in circles here, right? We're going in circles. He was clearly rugged up. He was clearly intoxicated. He needs help. Right, but let's not deflect onto people like Angie and then go for small little fish like me and his mods. They've had DEAD threats. His mods have had those threats. They are single mothers with children. Miss Red, you platformed him alongside Pearl, alongside Luke, and you all should take the rap for it. Own your shit. And
Pearl was only bullying just for now, and just the other day with the bows, having a laugh. Oh, this is so funny, like you did to me. You both did the same thing to me, to be fair, although me and Dad made up, you see, because I chose peace. Do you know what I mean? But however, you thought it was funny that he was doxing my address, didn't you, Miss Red? And look what you have caused. You have created a monster.
Yeah, but I did have his back. I did have his back throughout certain things because I don't like Blaster. Blaster threatened my children and me, right? Yes, I did. I did have his back over Blaster, but what I saw that night was too much and I walked away. Stop putting the blame onto other people because you all made him the monster that he is today, and that is a fact.
Yeah.
And this is what I was saying.
However, we've got to remember it came out of his mouth. No one should be. You know, I've always said it's no one's responsibility. Why should we call people out? He's an adult. He knows what he's saying. Why? But however, they've gone in and calling everyone enablers and all the shit. When I think there's no such thing as an enabler on TikTok, where, you know, unless someone is encouraging them, drink again, say it again. You know, it's no one's responsibility. But however, if you want to sit there call me enabler, I'm going to come back right at you. Do you know what I mean? I hate that word enabler. I don't feel anyone enables anyone on this app. That's his responsibility. He's in his 30s. He can get off TikTok, you know. Do you get what I'm saying? No, you know, I'm not no one's mother, sister or anything like that. Why do I have to tell him?
But Angie, just what I was saying earlier, every single person, viewer, creator, whoever, has not encouraged, but we all watched the behaviour. We all switched in for the drama. Half the audience from yours, half the audience from Red's, half the audience. When Dan comes on, they're going to be sitting in Dan's just to see what his response is going to be. People are going to continue to watch it and going to continue to talk about it. So it lays with everybody. Creators, viewers, it lays with everybody.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. I agree with that, Lucy, 100%.
Yeah, but you've got to remember, can I just say, because there is this hate train on Dan, right? That was started by a few people, right? Yes, he said shit, and yes, I'm not shocked. I'm not gonna lie. I can't be shocked. You know why? Nothing shocks me anymore. It just doesn't. So what he said about Blaster's baby, and that's disgusting. That's vile. But I'm not shocked, and that's awful. That I'm not shocked about that. Don't you think? Usually before TikTok, I'd be shocked about shit like that. I'd be absolutely mortified. But I am disgusted by it. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not shocked. You know, because look at other creators and what they've said as well. If we're going to go in at Dan, we've got to go on at everybody, other people that have said just as bad, in my opinion. I've said just as bad, man. But they seem to have a pass.
And I'll continue to say it, and I'll keep going on. Red, you have got one of the biggest platforms on this app. You sat with Corey, you sat with Alex after all of the outing over a 3-year-old child. You do not stand on nothing. You are a wrong un alongside them. I don't care what anyone says. You act all innocent, Red, but let me tell you, you are not. You are up there with the worst of the worst, and that is a fact.
Yeah, we did sit with Dan, but guess what? I called it. I don't know about anyone else. I only can speak for me. I called his behaviour out. They didn't. I really did. That's why he hated me, because he used to say, you're up and down. Why do you keep going in on me? It's because I was bloody just calling him as on my FYP. He didn't really understand that. Am I still protective? No. What I'm trying to say is have the same energy for others. Why do they get a pass for the shit they come out with as well? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they're sat with the worst. They're all sitting with the worst. I'm not going to name anybody because I'm sick of going on and on about it. But they're sitting with the worst. They're friends with the worst. Worse than Dan, in my eyes. 1,000 times worse than Dan. Yeah, you want Dan off the app. Listen, rightly so. I get what he said was disgusting. However, you all support this person that has said the worst. And you want to enable that behaviour, gift that behaviour, and that makes you also a wrong un.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm not naming anyone.
She's come to in ya, by the way.
No, but it's worse than Dan. You want to bet? There is. But you want to give this person a free pass. There is, but you want to give this person a free pass. And that's disgusting.
Tell Red to unblock me. Tell Red to unblock me and let me in, and I'll tell her about herself. Never mind, go over to Red. Red will not put me in. Red will not let me have my say.
I'll see what she has to say. 1 sec. Give me a sec.
You need to change your knickers, Claire. Just let's start the day on a positive note and go and do that.
Yeah.
She said go change your knickers.
Yeah, well, listen,
love, your
knickers were dropping all around Birmingham, Miss Red. Dropping all around Birmingham. You had to meet an old bloke to get out of Birmingham, love.
Hello, everyone. So basically, I've been watching, yeah. I think to say that somebody's worse than at the minute, his behaviours have escalated to the point where it's been known, someone's read out a statement today, Blaster's read out a statement, and last night he even turned around and said that he would pay someone to grape someone. Like, to me...
Like I said, Chills, and it's terrible that I'm not shocked. Terrible,
like,
but however...
It's disgusting. Like, everybody's been condoning this behaviour for a long-ass time. You know, when people have been calling out this behaviour, and Claire, you know, I hate to say it, but there's hypocrisy, there's selective outrage on this app. You know, from the get-go, people should have been calling out this behaviour, but instead people have been sitting on it and sitting on it and sitting on it and condoning it.
But can I just intervene? Listen, right, I get I understand, but listen, I thought Dan was being bullied by a lot of people, and I backed him. And that's why I backed him. But you've got to understand one thing, I do understand where you're coming from. Yes.
Okay, so Claire, can I ask you a question then?
Yeah, of course you can.
So when he turned around and said what he said about your children, you know, was that reacted abuse between yourself and Dan?
Yeah, I went in on him.
But who went in on who first?
I went in on him about Joey. I said, you're all in your bed alone. I said, you've got no one. I did. I can't lie about it.
But for him to turn around and say what he said towards your children, that should have been a boundary he should never have crossed. Now, with me, I don't know what the moral code is for everybody, but, you know, children under no circumstances should be brought into anything. That's the lowest of the law.
Can I just put this to you, right? Just like they had their Cobra calls, right? We had our call-off app. If they're allowed to have a call-off app, I'm allowed to have a call-off app with Dan. And we dealt with it. I get where you're coming from. But yes, when he crashed out, absolutely disgusting. Will I sit with him again until he fixes up? Absolutely not.
Okay, and Delusive, I hope you don't mind me saying, but as a watcher, I think basically people think that there's a little bit of hypocrisy because when you're sober, you're calling out his behaviours and be like, yes, you know, someone else is actually calling out his behaviours, right? So we're like, that's great. But then in the same breath, when there's a drink and stuff like that, that's when he's been in the boxes, you know, after he's done the worst of the worst.
You can't really go turn on someone and go for someone that's, you know, clearly intoxicated as much as that person that's saying it, because obviously he'd done things to me as well. I mean, obviously I wouldn't have been battling him, would I? You know,
no, exactly. But the thing is, like, I don't think, and this is coming from someone who's got an experience with alcohol, right, as well. I don't think, you know, alcohol should be an excuse for behaviours.
Listen, love. You keep saying I'm fucking sick of it now. It's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. It's every excuse. Let me tell you why it's every excuse. When it changes you as a person, I'm not saying it's an excuse for someone's bad behaviour, because those are the kind of things I wouldn't come out with even when intoxicated. But it's every excuse to not remember. It's every excuse to zone out. It's every excuse to slur your words. It's every excuse when you've got alcohol poisoning, because that's what it is. When you slur, that's alcohol poisoning. Mild version of alcohol poisoning, right? That you have, where your mind is not in the right place. You're zoning out. You're not really listening to what people are saying because you're under the influence of a rug. Because that's what it is. It's a rug,
yeah,
right?
I agree.
When you say it's no excuses, every excuse in some ways. But however, when it's someone's behaviour, I would say you're correct. It's not an excuse for how people act under the influence, because I'm not going to be racist because I'm now drinking and use it as an excuse, because that means I must be racist in my real world, right? When I say real world, when I'm not drunk, you know, when I'm sober.
Yeah. I mean, I completely understand why you're frustrated.
Why do you think a police officer, they will not interview under the influence of alcohol? Because they know you're going to talk shit. So if they interview you, police officer, under the influence of alcohol, and you confess to a crime, they're going to say, well, it's no excuse. She confessed. No, you're under the influence of alcohol. We keep sick of people saying it's no excuse. It's no excuse.
Angie, I'm not saying that it's not an excuse.
Headspace. You're not in the right headspace. Would you sign documents under the influence of alcohol? No. Would you do all the normal things you would do if you were sober? No.
Angie, I understand why you're frustrated with that, right? And I understand that.
People keep saying it's no excuse. It is every excuse to not remember. Yeah,
right, I know it's an excuse to not remember.
One sec, please let me speak. Because you keep saying it's no excuse and all this kind of shit. But however, if I cannot remember when I wake up, and you say, but that's no excuse not to remember, that's just a stupid statement. It's like, but what do you mean it's no excuse that I've had a drink and I can't remember? I'm telling you, I can't remember. Do you get what I'm saying? I just hate that word. It's no excuse. No,
Chills, can I just ask you a question quickly? So obviously, take the alcohol out of the situation. You're saying about when Angie was intoxicated that she platformed him. Would you not say that those constantly cam-toing him and playing his videos and re-showing the vile words that he's used? Would you not argue that that's platforming him, albeit in a different way, but still platforming him?
I think that's a different context. I think the meanings are different. Like with Angie, I understand why she's frustrated when it comes to people saying that it's not an excuse. Now, when I say it's not an excuse, I wasn't aiming at Angie, I was aiming at his behaviours. You know, because Dan can't use alcohol or substance as an excuse because he's saying with
unfortunately, the thing is,
stuff like that.
Unfortunately, it's not an excuse, but it's a reason. Because unfortunately, alcohol does send, and it is a fact. So please,
it's an escalation of behaviour.
You know, alcohol does change your personality. It does change who you are. It's a drug. People, there's happy drunks, emotional drunks, violent drunks, people that just talk shit, and people might say the most vile shit. I've been around alcoholics in my time, right? And I tried to help someone that used to sit in the park constantly drinking, and he said the most vilest shit. I'm not excusing it, but he did, and that was the alcohol. Because when he was sober, he was the most nicest guy, you know, under drunk, and that's alcohol. I'm not saying it's an excuse, but there was a reason there, right? He said the most vilest shit, but he was a lovely guy when he was sober. Now, maybe you might not think this is Dan. You may think, well, he's like that when he's sober too.
Yeah, he has been like that sober recently as well, and I think this is where people are starting to blur the lines when people are saying, you know, it's Dan, you know, and he can't know.
I think Dan can be vile sober. I think he can be vile sober, but I think he crossed the line, you know. And I think when he goes too far, I think alcohol's to do with it, drugs is to do with it. I really do, because it does change your personality. It really does. It changes you who you are. But you know, like I said, people may say he's like that when he's sober too. But I think he's just worse when he's drunk.
But Angie, I understand that you're getting frustrated in a minute when people are saying, you know, you can't use it as an excuse. But I'm going to ask you a question now, and I hope that you don't find, you know, anything that's offensive. But can I just ask you a question?
Yeah.
When you're under the substances and stuff like that, when you're under the alcohol, because you know, alcohol's like close to my heart as well. I've grown up with it. My mum's a drinker and stuff like that, and I used to be a drinker as well, so I completely get it. You know, and there's a lot of stuff there. But do you feel sometimes that like you could put up something to protect yourself even more on this app where people can't use that against you?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
So, like, do you think that your mods or people around you should be doing more to look out you when you're under the influence?
Because they're not here to babysit me. They're not my brother. They're not my sisters, my mother. They're no relation to me. You know, they can help me, obviously, because they are some of my friends. Some of them are not my friends. You know, some of them are they're just associates, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But there are my mods that are my friends that do speak to me, that do speak to me. But I don't think it's their job to babysit me, because that's just I don't want to be that kind of burden, because I've been there myself when I've helped people that do have, you know, that are, you know, in a not good place mentally, and it's really hard, you know what I mean, and it just and it brings you down a little bit as well, do you know what I mean? And people got their own problems, their own shit, you know. They could phone me and say, look, get off and all this but am I going to listen? Probably not when I'm drinking. Well, Dan, listen, probably not. So what I'm saying is, you know, you don't want to put that onto someone that's got their own family, they've got their own problems. Do you know what I mean? Because they do.
Yeah.
Angie,
I'm just thinking, because there's been
1 minute. Let me reply back to you, right?
Yeah.
Now, you said that you understand about obviously alcoholism, right? And you've been
I've got some understanding, and I've been through it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you have an understanding of how people change from when they're sober to being under the influence. So can you not understand the fact that when he has gone that low, he's gone that low because of that? It's not an excuse for what he said. However, if you've been through it, do you not think that you should understand that?
I understand it to some degree, yes. However, there's been times where he's been sober and said the most vilest stuff. You know, it's even the next day he's not took accountability for it.
You know what it is? I've said a lot of shit under their influence, as you all know, but I wouldn't have said what he said, you know, things like that. And I just feel that if you've got those thoughts in your head, not thoughts, if you're saying those things even under the influence of alcohol, that's the person you are sober. Even though I say shit, when I say that's the person you are sober, I'm talking about grape. I'm talking about those kind of vibe, you know, talking about someone's child in that way. Then I can't help but think, though, that this is what you say when you're sober. Because those are the things I wouldn't come out with. I do talk shit, don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't have come out with stuff like that. Never have done.
No, I think like it just gives people more confidence to say what they would say, like think subconsciously. But when you're sober, you've got like a conscience not to say it verbally. Do you know what I mean? When you're drinking and stuff like that, to me, it opens up all the shutters and you've got no filter. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've got no filter when I'm drinking, but I still wouldn't talk on. Have I spoken on Grape? Yes, mainly about myself, and But however, have I spoken on things what he's done with children and gravestone? No.
That's what I mean. Like this person has gone to the point where it's, yeah.
Sorry, Chels. No, I'm just wondering, like, what we have to stop normalizing people who know that they're an asshole when they're drunk and still come online. If you know you're like the other day, yourself and Dan came on and you said you were going to cause havoc on the app
but this
when
is
you
what
were
I
drinking.
said.
So you.
Yeah, but this is what I said. I meant going on other creators like we usually do. Do you know what I mean? Not fucking talking, but someone's wanting to grape people and babies and gravestones.
No, I know. But it's like you can't
That's
blame
something I've
the
always
alcohol.
said for years.
I don't think you can't blame drugs and alcohol when you know that that's what it does to you. Do you know what I mean? You can't then come online and then just abuse people or, be racist or homophobic, because it's not an excuse. You're using it as not you personally, but if you're using it as an excuse before you've even done it, then it's planned behaviour. Yeah. Drink is not an excuse.
I agree, Susie, and to be fair, to just going on Angie because she's platformed him lately, I think that's a little bit unfair considering this whole
I agree. I had a battle with him.
Yeah, this is what I mean, but this is what I mean, right? Whereas other people, they've been supporting him and stuff like that on and off the app, and they've still condoned the behaviour.
Stop saying I platformed him yesterday that day. We were doing battles.
Can I ask you a question, Chills? Right.
Yeah.
So Miss Red is live now. You could request her box and say, "I'm not being funny, but you platformed him."
I'm gonna say it openly. I think everyone's been. I think everybody's been condoning his behaviour for a long ass time, and because of that, no one's gave him that guidance, no one's gave him that boundary to turn around and say, actually, you're going too freaking far. If you're good friends to him on and off the app,
was on the same platform.
Do you know what I mean? Instead of doing it, people have been going into the boxes, people are saying, oh, well done, Dan, rah, 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 rah. And then it's been selective outrage as well, because they've been condoning his behaviour until he turned around on them. Until it turned around on them, and this is the thing. Like the
everybody has a responsibility, like when it comes to that kind of thing. Like everybody platformed him, everybody was friends with him at some stage, and it just turned out that what happened, and it was brutal. And I was a big fan of Dan. I really enjoyed watching him, but that not when he was vile in any way like that. But if I knew, and this goes for everybody, but if I knew like that alcohol did that to me or made me say and do things that would insult people and hurt people, first of all, I wouldn't do it, I wouldn't drink. And second of all, I would not come online for everybody to see it. You're going to get grilled.
You don't listen.
Well, exactly. But then tell that to the people that are drinking and coming online.
Hold on. Listen, if I was in a state like that, I am not going to push that live button. It is nobody else's issue.
That's what I'm saying.
He brought himself on live. However, I am going to state that the people that are come to him now, you all absolutely met him in the real life. You've all chilled out with him. You've been in hotels. You've absolutely had off the phone calls.
But so have you, Claire. Claire, you've done it on a larger scale. You're being a complete hypocrite.
Exactly.
No, hold on a minute. Let's get it straight. I gave him a few coins, right? And I said,
you've also defended him as well, though, Claire.
Stop poking the bear.
But that's defending him. Defending him. There's been times where people haven't poked the bear, and he's still gone in on him.
You're not listening. You're not getting it. Yes. Did I still?
She is listening. She's just not agreeing on what you're saying, Claire, because you're wrong. You did. You up until like 48 hours ago, you were supporting him. Yeah, I did. Not after. You were in the box with him. You were in the box with him when all this was going on.
And you was his supporter. You just said it. You just said
I supported him. Yeah, I can fully say that. Lots of people supported him.
When he came onto the app, it was great. It was funny. Do you know what I mean? But then his behaviour's escalated. His behaviour's got worse.
Hold on, guys. Look at the hypocrite there, right? I supported Dan. I was sat with Dan. How can you come at me when you supported him too?
Because you stopped supporting him. If you listen to Susie,
I watched his lives. Like I thought he was funny. I'm not supporting him like you did. I didn't jump in his box when he was being violent. You shut
Well,
up,
I'm going to
Claire.
be honest.
Get a
I
life.
supported him. I still support him. I think the fella's going through something really bad. He's suffering from a breakup. He has BPD. He has, I'm not sure if his regs or, but obviously alcohol changes him. He's still the same when he's sober. He's been encouraged to do that by his mentors, which was Miss Red, Luke, and Pearl. Now, Pearl knew she was going for Live Pro, and she knew Dan.
And she dropped him.
Claire, let me finish. She knew she was going for Live Pro, and Dan at this point was just like a loose cannon. That fella was crying out for help. You don't want everybody turning their back on him. Yes, I disagree with you, Demi Clapper, Angie. Yes, just not. That's between you and him. But people should be looking for the reasons why he's like he is.
but she encouraged his behaviour.
If Blaster went at him, he had every right to go back.
But Pearl encouraged that behaviour too.
What's that? Sorry?
Pearl encouraged that behaviour from Dan Chris by making nosy eyes, by sitting in the live streams while they've all been going after Pink Menace, by sitting in live streams when he's been going in on other people. You know, she's been encouraging that behaviour instead of turning around and saying. Yeah.
They're abandoning him now though because he's a loose cannon. Because he doesn't know
she's got Live Pro.
Boundaries.
It's because she's got Live Pro, she's abandoning him.
Hold on.
No, she abandoned him before Live Pro.
Thank you,
Just
love.
before.
Thank you, my darling. Thank you. It was a week before she was going. She knew that she was going to get Live Pro. She knew she couldn't have Dan around. Her community said to her, you need to drop Dan. And she dropped him like he was a piece of you-know-what.
Remember, Angie, when they were at the boxing or somewhere and Dan came on the phone to you and Pearl realised he was on the phone to you and she ran into where Dan was. Now, Angie, you have stood up by him. Yes, you supported him. But yes, you disciplined him or told him off when he needed it too. And let me tell you, see if Dan was still with Pearl, Miss Red and Luke, we wouldn't be talking about him today. It'd be you we'd be talking about, not Dan.
Yeah.
They're all too eager now to go at Dan. Well, why don't you all stand back and think why Dan is like he is? Because he had no boundaries.
He had nobody, hence why we backed him. He had
But
nobody.
you wouldn't turn your back on your friend now, would you? If they needed you, you wouldn't turn your back on them.
I'm saying, if my friend, say just put eternity in that and said that, she would never say that. But however, let's just say she was in Dan's position. I'm not going to lie, I wouldn't walk away from her. And that I wouldn't. I'd still help her, still be friends with her because she's my friend. And I thought that's what they had. I would have thought, do you know what I mean? But however, I wouldn't agree with what she said. Does not mean because I want to help her, I'd still agree with it. That's just what friends do, in my opinion. But I don't think they were ever friends. I think Pearl was probably using him because she was getting in the clout.
Don't forget
what he said. We've got to remember what he said was vile. We can't take that away and say that it was fine because it wasn't. Drink or not, it's not something I would say when I'm drunk. Do you know what I mean?
But
however,
Angie,
if that was my friend, that's what I'd do.
Hey Angie, can I just say something? I've just jumped up just because obviously I was one of the people that he kind of came and attacked that night. That he was struggling. All I'm going to say is no matter what, no matter how much alcohol you've had, no matter how badly you're going through things with mental health, it is not acceptable to say the things that he says. It came out of his mouth so naturally. And the thing is, he says things like that when he is sober. There is no excuse for it at all.
Yeah.
That's what he was encouraged to be like. He was encouraged to behave like that.
How's he been encouraged to behave like that? Sorry?
Because Pearl, Luke and Miss Red all encouraged him. Whenever he done anything wrong, he was awarded for it. He was never spoke upon or pulled about the way that Angie is.
However, you cannot blame other people for what comes out of his mouth. It is down to him what he says.
So hold on. So why are me, Angie, and his mods and other people getting threats? Yeah, you're saying it's out of his mouth, right? So now explain why we're getting the threats.
Well, I can't explain that because I'm not the one giving you threats, and it's not acceptable that you guys should be getting threats. It's not acceptable at all. That should not be happening on any occasion, especially one like this, because it's not your fault. It's come out of his mouth. However, I am not someone. I've gone through mental health. I've gone through all sorts. He came. Yeah, I know we all have. But I'm saying I'm speaking from someone who he has personally attacked the other night. And it is not acceptable. No one should be receiving any threats. No one should be blamed for what came out of his mouth. I had a phone call with Angie.
You went into the comments and rage baited him, and you got back as good as what you give.
How did I rage bait him?
Well, he's gonna come back at ya.
No. You didn't answer. How did I rage bait him?
Apparently, you was in the comments.
Apparently, have you seen that?
I don't have proof of that, but I've just been.
No, exactly. So don't go off of anything if you don't have proof. I wasn't in the comments. I don't sit in his lives. Claire, let me speak. Claire, let me speak.
Yeah,
I don't sit in his lives because I do not stand for what he does. What I did, Angie was doing a battle with him, okay? She didn't hear what he had wished upon people's children and what he was saying to certain people in his chat. So I went up in Angie's box and I told her exactly what was said to protect her and her platform. Okay? So I am not encouraging anything of his behaviour. I was not rage baiting him. What I was doing was saying the truth. If people can't take the truth, then I'm sorry, but that's on them, not on anyone else.
I do apologise, Stephanie. I now remember you was in the lower box.
But this is the thing, though. People are condoning this behaviour, and then when people call out the behaviour, like Steph and other content creators, they get the hate for it.
I think the thing is, you can say about, like, you know, what you were saying, Claire, about what you were saying. I think you can go back at people, but you know, don't cross that line.
No, there's a fine line.
Yeah.
There's a fine line, and he crossed that line massively. I'm not one to hold grudges. I am actually working on myself, just like other people do when they are going through things mentally, and that is what he needs to do. He needs to come off this app, and he needs to work on himself if he expects any support in the future, because I don't know how anyone can support him when he is saying things like that.
Stephanie, sorry, my love. I got you mixed up with somebody else. Yeah, Stephanie,
That's
you
okay.
was the one that jumped in to help Angie. You was in the little small box.
Yeah, and all I was trying to do was just protect Angie's platform, because at the end of the day, she shouldn't be, like you say, right? People are now getting threats. She shouldn't be getting threats like that. None of you should. It's not fair. It's all on him. It's not on anyone else. It's all on him.
The amount of threats I've got in inboxes is amazing. You wouldn't believe.
Yeah, and it's not acceptable for anyone to receive any sort of threats. And I am sorry that anyone is going through that. Everyone in the comments, I am okay. I took a couple of days. I am okay. I've had a call with Angie. It's all been spoken about. But I just think that now it's that there is no... What's the word? We just can't accept his behaviour. Can't platform it. Because anyone that supports him and is platforming him and battling him and all of this, they are enabling his behaviour that is absolutely vile. And it will get to someone one day and something bad will happen.
Stephanie, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So in regards to people that have stood by him, thinking that he was being poked, prodded, you know, that they're all ganging up on him, would you say that we're in the wrong for standing by him?
Look, I think there's a fine line between standing by someone when they're going through a hard time, but then standing by them when they are being absolutely vile. And I think with his behaviour recently, yes, he's gone through a breakup. Yes, he's gone through traumatic things in life. However, I do not think that it is acceptable to stand by someone when they're coming on a platform that is 13 plus, that people use this platform to keep themselves like company, like Angie, for instance, she keeps people company who are struggling. I don't think it's acceptable to stand by someone that is being that vile on a platform. No. Help him outside of it. Tell him, look, you need to come off the platform, you need to do this, you need to do that. If he doesn't want to do that, fine. But I, personally, if I was his friend and I was speaking to him off of TikTok and I was supporting him off of TikTok, I would then not be sat in his live or battling him, knowing how vile he can be.
So what about, so Steph, I'm just going to throw this back. So what about then, do you agree that those that come to him and those FYP pages that will continue to play his videos, that they're in the wrong as well?
Yeah. People who are literally, I can't think of any words. I'm a bit like all over the place.
Because to me, there's no difference between cam-toing someone to battling them. I know you people can say you use it for money game, but you're still showing their face and their platform.
Yeah, is any of that? That's what I mean. Is any of that? If you are putting him out there, like you're screen recording him and posting on pages, you're cam-toing him. If you're putting him out there, you're enabling his behaviour. People are watching that and then going into his lives when he's like that, and he's getting all the views and all the gifts and everything. People are enabling his behaviour.
Yeah, I agree. And people saying about, sorry, Claire, just a quick one. There's a couple of comments saying about awareness videos. As I said earlier, I'm not sure if you was in here. Yeah, I agree. We need these behaviour, these words need to be shown. I agree. But if we keep showing it and we keep, as Angie said, you're not shocked no more. We keep going around in circles with this type of behaviour, but we're just upsetting and we're just triggering new people all the time. And as Steph said, you don't know what someone's on the brink of, and keep showing a video on a platform might affect someone's mental health.
Thank you, Lucy. And just to point on that, Stephanie, I actually really like you. You've come across such a lovely young lady. And honestly, I just want to state that the question I want to ask you now, if just Nana is affected mentally, physically, is drained, as well as Blaster, why are they cam-toing and listening to what's being said? Can you answer that question?
That's on them.
I don't think that's to ask Stephanie. Yeah, I was going to say, because Stephanie can't talk for someone else.
No, that's completely on
also,
them.
like, I've been in Blaster's live a couple of times recently and she's not shown any clips. But she's just been speaking about it.
Exactly. It's not
because it's been named at her. I think if someone's been involved in it, if they've been mentioned and had stuff said about it, they've got every reason to talk about it.
But hold on a minute. If I'm affected, I come away from TikTok. I leave. I press the button to come on. You're not listening to what I'm saying. Just Nana is a victim of herself. She claims to be a victim. It's all lies upon lies. Blaster, we could all come up here and give our storylines out there. This is TikTok drama. We're not here to be a psychologist.
Yeah, but I don't mean to come across rude. I don't mean to come across horrible, okay? But when it comes to this app, it is about views. That's what whatever her bloody name is, don't care, bad fringe girl, cares about is her views. And she is cam-toing Dan, and she's cam-toing the people that affect her because she wants to sit there and for people to feel sorry for her and to get her views up. That's exactly what it is.
There you go. Now there you go, Angie. You heard that.
Yeah.
That is all they're doing it for.
I think there's a difference between asking someone to stop cam-toing and being aggressive, though. You know, that there's a way of asking people not to cam-to. If you don't appreciate being cam-toed, then ask them politely, don't cam-to me, do you know what I mean? But if you're going to cross the line and be aggressive towards them and wish the worst of the worst between them, that's when it becomes aggressive.
No, Jules, I didn't mean it in the sense of people, like, not what, if, like, Angie didn't want to be cam-toed by someone, I didn't mean it like that, I agree there, but what I meant it as in, if you're saying that someone's words are vile, which they are, someone's triggering someone, they're upsetting their community, why would you therefore then come to someone and upset and expose your community to that triggering behaviour?
Yeah, I know where you're going there, because you're not protecting the people on either side, are you?
Some people are looking to be triggered. For some bizarre reason, some people do enjoy being triggered.
Yeah, because they want people to feel sorry for them. They want the attention.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Are they drawing awareness to it though, Steph? I'm so surprised at what you've said, Steph.
What do you mean you're surprised by what?
Of what you've just said about just Nana, that it's all just for attention and that she's the victim. I don't believe that. And like whoever it was lower down that said, if you come to him and what have you with aggression, it's a whole different ball game to just come to in and showing the behaviour of somebody.
Okay, but wait, sorry, Stephanie, just a quickly one, Cloud Chaser. But I understand what you're saying about showing the behaviour, but in turn, you're exposing your community, who you're meant to think the world of, to these triggering words that could upset and impact your community's mental health. I don't understand why there's any need for it.
Yeah, we got screen recordings.
I get what you're saying.
We got screen recordings, that screen record bad behaviour, and that's how I see it. Turn your gifts off. It was awareness, isn't it? Turn your gifts off before you go live.
At the end of the day, we're all human beings. We go to the cinema, we watch comedians to make us laugh, sad things to make us cry, listen to horror movies to frighten us. So why the hell is there such a fuss because we stand in watching or sit in watching Dan in our home, and at any time? I suffer with mental health, severe mental health. Somebody did say in the comments I need a welfare check. By all means, I'll give it my address personally. But it's content.
Sorry, but you can't call what Dan said content. You just can't.
No, you can't.
That's not content.
There's a thin line between... Exactly, Steph. And there's a thin line between Gatecrash TV and just... abomination, and this is why it is at the minute,
Alex, do not go in on
past anything.
It's just like basically his behaviour is not even Gatecrash TV anymore. It's horrific. It's traumatising people, whoever comes on the platform, and they're seeing it day in, day out. Do you know what I mean? And I think Blast is talking about this at the minute on her platform because it's her experiences as well. What he's put a shadow on it.
Why?
Because I think people, think about it this way, Claire, yeah? You're thinking about awareness and stuff like that, and Blast is about awareness and stuff. So one, you're highlighting awareness, but also she's highlighting baby loss and how that can affect a parent. If you think about it like that, there's a lot what she can cover there.
I agree,
The question is, who's the one that just literally stated, just Nana Cam 2s for all gifts and for sympathy? Who said that?
Steph.
Me.
You're a fucking idiot, Steph. That's what you are, man. So that woman can't allow to be a victim because stuff that she's gone through in life, and it's all about gifts and that. Maybe that's your mindset.
The thing is, Alex, right. One thing, Alex, can I just say something? The thing is, it was not just Dan she said it to. She's done it to me. When she went live and she got Pearl, yourself, all the big creators, all the people that hate me on her platform and said a blatant lie that I'm bullying her. I hadn't spoken to her about it for 2 weeks because I decided to black her out on my platform, not talk on her for 2 weeks, and said crying. She was literally crying, and I swear. One thing, Alex, please let me have my say, please. And I swear on everything I love, I hadn't spoken on her for 2 weeks, and I could not believe what she was saying. She got 2K in there with that as well, and every 10 seconds you can see her eyeballs looking at the viewers, and I'm thinking, how has she just said that lie? She also said that I mocked a child SA, crying once again in Miss Red's live, and guess what? When she left the cult, I didn't realise that was her. She had a different account, different name, you see, that she said I mocked a child SA to then sit in my box for 8 months telling me how much she loved me, constantly talking on her mental health on my platform. Every time she had an argument, she spoke on her mental health.
Claire, you can't talk about nothing.
But remember, Alex, she's not just done this to Dan, she's done it to me.
But yeah, Angie, let me spin this narrative to every single one of you in here. Stephanie, apparently, because what Dan said to her the other day was having a little break off social media, and now she's pointing the finger at other people saying, oh my God, but they're not victims. And you's like, okay.
I didn't say she's not a victim. I didn't say she's not a victim.
You never said that.
I said
him constantly.
Yeah, but
no, Alex, out. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why, right? Yeah, this woman cam twos me, and I'm constantly, leave me alone, go away. And I even said, I'm going to trigger you in 5 seconds, just Nana. 5, 4. She was still cam twoing me. And then you want to sit there and say, my mental health's not well, good. I've gone to the police on this person. She said she'd gone to the police on me, but sat there cam twoing me all the time. Said I mocked her child essay as well. To then sit in my box for 8 months, clout chasing. Said she never wanted a platform. As soon as she left the cult, she got a platform. The script, so she put up subscription. She put up everything was all set up for her to go live.
1 minute, Angie.
Listen, I don't condone what Dan has said. Don't think I'm condoning what he said. I am not. However, I even said when I said, Dan, stop talking on it, and he did for a week. What did Just Nana do? She went live and started talking on him again. And I swear that on my grave, I couldn't believe my eyes. Exactly. And I'm thinking, why has he's not spoken about you for a week. Why go to the police on them? Absolutely. But you're sat here, and she put it all up again. Put all the creators in her box. Big conversation on Dan. He hadn't spoken on her for a week. I hadn't spoken on her for 2 weeks. She still went on me. I tell her, stop cam to me. I don't like it. Stop monetizing off me. And it's like she wants to cause reactions. Why do you think it's not just me, Dan? AB. It's not as Pearl didn't like it, I didn't like it, and Dan didn't like it. There's a reason for that. There's 3 people saying to this only one person, please stop cam toing us. I don't have, I know I've said what I said about Miss Red, but I know she's cam toing me now. But, I don't mind everyone else. So there's a reason why we're saying all this. Because she cries victim all the time. I'm not saying she's not a victim to what he said. Yes, she's a victim to what he said, but she don't help herself. She's a victim of herself. Yeah, when she's looking to be triggered by cam-tooing the very person that affects her mental health, the very person that triggers her, cam-tooing her, and if she's not doing it directly, she's doing it indirectly, and that's her cam-tooing Alex, who's cam-tooing Dan, or me.
1 minute. Angie, 1 minute. Stephanie,
I don't know what he does not get.
What's that, sorry, Claire?
All I hear with her is victim. She mocked my child essay, but you sat in my box for 8 months. And she's bullying me, crying. I swear on my dad's grave, I hadn't spoken about the woman for 2 weeks. She had misread in there, AB, crying her eyes out. That I was bullying her, talking on her. And hadn't 2 weeks I hadn't spoken on her. So please, I've seen it with my own eyes what this woman does. But however, I'm not condoning what he said to her.
And we've seen it. We've seen it with our own eyes. Stephanie, are you okay, my
Yeah. I'm fine. Look, I'm not saying that she's not a victim. People who have come across the behaviour that Dan has thrown out on the internet or whoever else that has been horrible and said horrible things, you are victims. However, what I am saying is, Just Nana, she puts herself in that position. She chooses to cam to these people that trigger her. So therefore, AB, if you're still watching, no, I never said she wasn't a victim. What I'm saying is, when she is cam-toing people, she is constantly looking at her viewers. She is constantly looking for the attention.
But in the same breath,
you know what?
Right?
I did a little thingy, Bob, and I gave my rates on people. I gave my opinion on all these creators. I didn't mention Just Nana. You know what her words were? She wasn't talking about trauma. She goes, I said some people were irrelevant for me to put on the list. I never mentioned her name, but obviously I was talking on her. And she was so bothered that I said she wasn't irrelevant. She wasn't relevant enough on the app. All I see is when she was in my box on my platform was always victim all the time. She had an argument with Lynn's, right? Because she thought we were talking about her. We weren't talking about her. We were talking about someone else. She jumps in the box, has an argument with Lynn, says straight away, says my mental health's not good. Then go! Why are you on my platform then if your mental health's not good? I don't understand what Alex is not getting. I know that she supports showing up sure us. Because she, hopefully financially get from.
Can I make an argument for this though, please? Like,
Alicia,
I think as well though, like in the same context, they're okay cam-toing other people, and taking mick out of their traumas and stuff. And I've seen that. And
I cam to people, guys, but I cam to people that cam to me back that talk on my videos.
Well, I'm
happy for them to cam to me.
I'm on about like Toxic Dan. No, Toxic Dan has cam to people while they've been through their own traumas and stuff.
But
and then made their eyes and took the piss out of him.
But by them cam-toing him back, or by anyone come to in anyone back, you know that you're going to get a reaction. 2, you're feeding into what he's saying. Be the better person, and this goes for anyone. Be the better person for, like Angie does. If someone comes in, I don't care. Let them get on with it. That's the attitude that you should have. The minute you come on this app, you should grow a thicker skin and say, no, I don't care. Let him get on with it. I'm not feeding into that. I'm not exposing him to more views.
But when Dan stopped speaking about it for a week, JN brought up his grape. Yeah. And then he went in even low and said the most disgusting things that he said. But if you mention his grape and his trauma, he's going to come back at you at your trauma, and everybody knows that Dan's going to go in 100 times lower. Like, if you don't want to be affected by this person, don't watch them, don't come to them, keep out of their way. And Alex, you just come in here. Stephanie said she had to have a break for a couple of days, and you just come in and mocked her mental health. And this is what the app is still acting exactly the same as it was with Dan. Just point the fingers back at yourselves, because you're all still doing it.
I agree.
And also, just for Nana was in Miss Red's live not so long ago, having to go at Luke and Miss Red for not talking on her trauma. Why do you want someone to talk on your trauma? Why does it have to be Luke and Miss Red? Is it because they've got big platforms? Do you know what I mean? Next minute you're in her box because all you're wanting is, in my opinion, a platform. That's what I see.
I agree with what you just said, Nick, there, and I'm going to hold my hands up there. And I think every single one of us, well, 95% of us on this app are actually guilty of doing the same thing. If a creator or someone said they're taking time off their mental health, I thought you was taking time off. We have all been guilty of that. I will say that. Exactly. Not makes it right. It doesn't make it right. I'm just saying we all have said it at some point.
Yeah, and do you know what? Like, I did take time off. Yesterday I wasn't on the app at all. I had a phone call with Nick, Smiles and Angie, and I just thought, do you know what? Like, at least I've admitted that I need to get the help in terms of my mental health, and I can own it. And I'm not coming on this app and saying vile things.
Alicia wants the box. Sorry to interrupt.
No, I don't think it's Alicia. It's Alicia and M, I think.
The thing is as well, Steph, and this is what I messaged you. Like,
Angela, sorry, can I just say, can you let M in the box? She's got a purple profile picture. I'm not. Oh, here's the now. Because we're on the brink of World War III, so I don't really care about this. Bye.
Hello, M.
Hello. I just wanted to say, this has all gotten really out of hand, and it was going to get really out of hand for a long while. We've been getting to a point for the last couple of weeks where we all knew it was going to escalate to the point where people's windows were going to get put through, and nobody's drawn a line in the sand. I don't know why it's been allowed to get this far. It's been the constant excuse has been, well, I'm going to keep going back at the trolls. Why is it that there is a constant response? Why does nobody ever draw a line in the sand and say, I'm just not going to respond?
I'll tell you,
I'm setting the boundary, I'm not doing it.
This is what I was saying earlier. In my opinion, the reason for that is because us as viewers are as guilty as liking the drama, going into these platforms and watching the to and fro. If we didn't go into these platforms and watch the to and fro and like the drama, they wouldn't do it because it wouldn't give views, it wouldn't give money.
But I'm talking about from like Dan's perspective, from creators' perspectives. If you didn't respond to trolls, it wouldn't keep escalating.
And they keep doing it, and it does escalate, and people's mental health is affected, and now windows have been put through.
But if you don't feed the fire, if a fire doesn't have oxygen, it just snuffs out, doesn't it?
But us as viewers keep lighting that fire. Us as viewers keep throwing wood on that fire. And that's what I'm saying, Em. Yes, the creators are wrong. Yes, they are, 100%. But so are we as viewers. Some of the blame lays with us. Because if we wasn't going into these, if we wasn't watching this, and we wasn't not gifting Dan, because some people don't, but if we wasn't gifting Red, who's come to in Dan, or just Nana, who's come to in Dan, then they wouldn't come to him. We are as bad.
People have been banging this drum for months and months and months, and been saying to people, stop fueling these fires, stop cam-2ing people, stop gifting the creators. It's never going to stop. So what needs to be done? Because we also know that TikTok's never going to do it. We also know that TikTok's never going to step in and put in stricter rules and stricter guidelines. So what is it that needs to happen for something to change on TikTok? Because we're at the point where people are going to people's homes. We're at the point where people's mental health is being seriously affected. What is it that needs to happen for something to change?
I think No one should be responsible for what someone says. It's them. Whether you put them in the box, speak to them, cam to. At the end of the day, you can do what you want. It lays on TikTok, yeah. And unless TikTok's going to remove that person, there's nothing you can do. So if people want to cam to, and listen, I don't like people cam toing, but then expect a reaction back, yeah, and don't be a victim. But however, if people want to cam to, do this, do whatever, yeah. If people want to sit with that person, they can sit with that person. No one should be saying who you should and shouldn't sit with. At the end of the day, it lays with TikTok. And regarding people knocking at door, smashing windows, well, that's down to them and that person, isn't it? Go to the popo and go down the legal route. Don't take the law into your own hands, and that's it.
Let's pay a 10-year-old kid 20 quid to go and put a brick through. I could do that today.
Yeah, but there's a couple of years ago, Angie, we had the Inquisitor who unalived himself about false allegations on this app. Where do people talk about that today? They don't. They don't remember that somebody on this app unalived themselves through to the lies being told on this app. Nobody talks. When Tim apparently unalived himself, more people were more interested in digging him out and proving that he was a liar and hadn't done it than being sad that somebody had actually gone and done that.
Yeah, that was sad.
In 6 months' time, nobody will care what Dan has said. In a couple of weeks' time, nobody will care because they don't care of the past victims.
I just don't think anyone's triggered or affected by what has been. I just don't, because I know, and I'm not talking about Blaster or the people or Christine, because it was what it was said to them directly. I'm talking about other people because I just know I just can't. I've been there so many times. They're going to have them they're going to box them when this is blown over. New drama. Give it a while. They'll all be in the boxes again. How many times have we seen it? We've seen it over and over. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not talking about yourself, Christine, or Steph, or whoever he said it directly to. I'm just talking about everyone else.
I think people are triggered and are affected. I think the issue is things move on so quickly on TikTok. There's always something new. So as quickly as people are bothered, there's also something new to be bothered about.
I agree, but as Angie said earlier, this has lost the wow factor now. So next time someone else has the wow factor, we'll all tune in on that.
Yeah, everyone's desensitized. That's the other issue. So as soon as something happens, something worse happens. So the last thing that happened doesn't seem as bad. And that's how people become desensitized to things. And that is also part of the issue, because as we become, and you see it not just on TikTok, but in the world, look at what's happening across the world at the moment. You become, the more you're exposed to psychologically, the more you're desensitized to it. So you become less and less bothered mentally.
You know what I think as well, and I just think a lot of creators, have a hatred towards Dan. I'm not talking about the people it's been directed to, but however, I think a lot of people just have jumped on a bandwagon, a hate train in regards to Dan. Yes, he said vile things, but so has other people which they support. They support those the people that said
there's
worse.
An element.
Sit with them, Angie.
Yeah, they said worse or the same as what Dan has. Do you know what I mean? And I think Dan has been pushed off because of a hatred, not because of his people being triggered. And I'm not talking about you, Steph, because I know you were triggered, and I'm not talking about Blaser because she was triggered because of what he said, but I'm talking about others, other people that support the worst on this app, other creators that support the worst on the app. They sit with them,
I think everybody's guilty.
Two things can be true at the same time. I think either of those things can be true, and everyone has their own reasons. I just don't know that the constant shit flinging and deflecting onto who said what and who's done what is helpful when people at the moment are hurt. And that's part of the reason why people move on so quickly, is that when we're dealing with something in the moment, people bring things up from the past. And that's not to say that removes accountability for the wrongdoings that have been done. I just mean we have this, we're unable on TikTok to ever come to a point of consequence. So when we talk about, this person should be deplatformed, we shouldn't be supporting this person, that never actually comes to fruition. Like you were saying, a couple of days, it all blows over and people go back into the
Let me ask you a question. Why aren't people, you're so triggered, why aren't you triggered by the actual peddlers on it? The groomers?
Oh, I am. I've been called out.
You know what I mean? All
so
these
many
people.
times.
Yeah, these are people that should be off the app, shouldn't they? They're actually, and I'm not saying what Dan did was right, it was disgusting and vile, but however, these other people are actually doing it. Do you get what I'm saying? Doing shit.
Do you know what? I do think quite a big aspect of this is that TikTok themselves do not monitor this app very well.
No.
And there are people on this app that should not be on this app. And I think part of it is down to TikTok, because you can report people's accounts, you can report people's lives and all of this, but then you get notifications back saying, oh no, there's been no violations.
Yeah.
Well, are you actually monitoring it properly?
I think it's an AI doing it. I really do. I don't even think a lot of it gets reviewed. But I just thought there's a resolution is people. If there is someone on this app and their behaviours, is to send them all. If we all did it to TikTok.
There was recently an investigation into TikTok, and I think it was either Sky News or the Daily Mail that did an investigation into the headquarters. And the people that actually moderate TikTok tried to unionize themselves and get better support as workers. And because of that, TikTok ostracized them and started basically pushing them out of the business to the point where they had to quit. So TikTok themselves are actually understaffed at the moment in terms of moderation. And that's why they're pushing heavily this AI model for moderation. And that's why the reporting doesn't work as well as it should.
Hold on.
It's
basically,
but that was for bullying, wasn't it? Because those poor children
1 minute,
were part of TikTok. Hang on, it was because those children unalived themselves to TikTok.
Yeah, 1 in 3 children across the globe.
Yeah.
So there
was a trend that was going around, and a child was unalived from that trend.
It's not just trends. It's also just the themes what they see on the FYP. All you have to do is just watch one video, and then that triggers.
That's not what I'm referring to.
But then I think that's where
what Em's on about is the actual workers behind TikTok in the offices.
Yeah.
And their health and safety and the policies and stuff like that weren't being met. They were being ostracised.
I think that's where
Sorry, Claire. We've got to understand. Hold on, guys, 1 minute, because I've been quiet. What we've got to understand is, if TikTok can't manage it, that's on them, because this is their app. They are gaining financial money from us.
You can say it's on them, Claire, but it's not, because who suffers the impact?
Well, we suffer the impact, but what I'm trying to say is, if you've got nobody at the top that's saying, do you know what, we've got to come right down on these. Why do you think, right, Evil Queen cannot come back as Evil Queen?
Yeah, but when are we going to take responsibility for being grown up?
Look at the game.
We're only responsible for our actions. We're not responsible for other people's actions. Do you know what I mean? Our reactions to our behaviours and our way of thoughts and processes, that's what we're responsible for. Other people's, we're not. However, if other people's are leading us to behave in a certain way, for example, if your words are having an impact on me, guarantee I'm going to have a reaction to that.
Let me just read this comment. Hold on. TikTok only care about money. Absolutely agree with that.
Yeah, but we're grown-ass adults. We've got to take responsibility for ourselves as well. We can't just keep on blaming everybody else. Do you know what I mean? If we don't agree with something, then we have to walk away with it as people.
Yeah, but sometimes I know there's been some really shitty things said about me on this app, but as a content creator, you are going to have trolls, you are going to have people who disagree with you, and there are going to be times where you're going to get back and forth, but there's a line between having an intellectual conversation, an adult conversation, and a difference between being a complete and utter a-hole about the situation and being toxic. And being nasty.
Just quickly, Nutty Nora in the comments. Do you want to come up in the box and actually talk to me properly instead of just at me in the comments saying that I asked for that behaviour from Dan? Because I clearly didn't.
Yeah, that's bang out of order.
So if you want to come up in the box and actually talk to me properly, then go ahead.
If you go for Stephanie, I'm going to troll you. I will go to prison for Stephanie.
Just before I have to drop down soon, but I just want to say, in terms of all these videos that are going round, and we say about, Dan's being put out there and all of this, I think it's also down to these screen recording pages, because these screen recording pages are putting up these videos, and then that's when people are seeing them, and then that's when people are getting triggered. Some people don't choose to go into his lives and watch all of that. Some people follow these accounts that are posting it all over TikTok, and then that's when it comes up on the FYP.
I agree, but also you've got to think, is a lot of these screen recording pages, I used to do screen recording, but I've stopped it when it got too much, to be honest with you. But a lot of them want to get the 10,000 viewers, so they're not wasting their time day in, day out, having 10,000 followers, recording these, posting these for the creators to get money out of them and for the screen recorders to make nothing. So if they're going to post a video and people are going to get a like higher viewings of it, then they are going to post it. Yes, it's wrong, but then again, it's down to us as viewers for watching it.
And not only that, but you want to be very careful about ostracising the FYP like screen recording pages, because people watch the FYP lives, and if they disappear, then there's no FYP lives.
Corey has said before, I think it was Corey, that there's a way that you can actually reset your FYP page.
Yeah, there is.
So that if anyone knows how to do it, please tell people, because a lot of people might want
it's in your settings. All you have to do is just click a button and it refreshes.
Because don't forget, the FYP only shows us what we watch.
Pick up the Observer. The Observer is amazing.
I think it's also important to remember that TikTok is also used as a political tool. Like recently, a deal went through where America bought like the intellectual property rights to the American TikTok. So the algorithm is also partly used to push out political ideology. So the algorithm isn't just to an extent what you want to see. It is also used as a political tool, and it's pushed out to show us what the government wants us to see. There's so much to TikTok that people don't understand, and so much of it, a wider stream of what's going on in the world at the moment. I think people just need people just need to touch grass. There's so much more going on in the world, so much more important than what we see on TikTok. And people just need to like wake up a little bit. Like if you're having a bad mental health day, log off.
I agree.
There's so much more going on in the world that's so much more important. You have people that care about you that don't exist on an app on the internet. Exactly.
Reading about what America's gone in on Iran.
Yeah, America and Israel have gone in on Iran. Iran has attacked Saudi Arabia.
That's a really good example, though, isn't it? Because if you don't want to watch or read about what WW3, I don't want to say the word, then you don't watch it. You don't log on to the Sky News. You don't do this. And I think it should stand with this sort of thing. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it.
It is. It's exactly the same thing.
Yeah, but...
And that's where I was coming from in terms of, like, just Nana, just, like, other people who Cam to Dan and all of that. You're choosing to do that. You're choosing to go that way and watch him. So you can't sit there and say, oh, it's triggering me. Okay, but you're letting that happen because you're going out of your way to go and cam to him. That was my point. I'm not saying that she's not a victim. People on this app, and anyone could be victims, right? But if you're going out of your way to watch that and to cam to and to put yourself in that situation, then it's on you. I'm sorry, but it's on you. But anyway, I've got to drop down now. But yeah, thanks for letting me up anyway. I'll speak to you later.
Thank you.
Big hug, Stephanie.
All right, take care. Bye.
Angie, just before I drop, I want to say...
Oh, you're dropping now, are you, Claire?
Oh, she's here. Oh, well,
Shall I tell you what Claire did last night?
What?
Last night I was in debate talk. Claire was in there giving it all, I'm a Muslim. Then she told a lie and said that I said to her that I hope her children unalive in their beds. And then she swore to God, to Allah, that I said that, and it never happened.
Yes, you did.
When did she say that, Claire?
And Alicia...
When did I say that, Claire?
You go from Reds, you're Reds mod, you stick by
Yes, I'm Red's mod, I'm Luke's mod, and I'm in the cult.
Exactly.
Now what?
Well, hold on a minute. Let me tell you something.
That's what she did, Observer, last night.
The question. When did she say that?
Claire, when did I say that about your children?
Listen, she said it over a year ago.
Oh, you're such a liar, Claire.
Why do we have to
you're
bring
going to
kids
burn
into
in eternal
arguments?
hellfire, and it's going to be mad for you.
There we go. Now, look, there's the...
You're going to be with the likes of Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein burning because you tell lies, really bad lies. And then you swear to your God that I said it. You're disgusting.
Run your balloons. How about that one?
Why do we have to bring kids into arguments? I don't understand it. Why?
She did it. Alicia said it to me.
But why did you have to mention? If she did it right, I don't care.
That would be all over the app.
Do you know what I mean? If she did it though, this is my argument. Let's have it. Yeah. If she did it, even if it were a year ago, why are you bringing it onto the app now?
Nobody brought it to the app. She was saying she was going to bully me, and I said, "Try bullying me."
You're so weird, Claire. What are you talking about?
Alicia, your children are Muslim, mashallah, but you're an infidel. And
okay.
Why do you have to bring kids into it? Why do you have to comment about kids? I don't understand it.
Because she's a wrong-un.
My kids.
Can we normalise not platforming wrong-uns, Angela, please?
Like, I'm not sticking up for Alicia.
You've just sat in red, Alicia.
Nikki was talking, Claire. Thank you.
I'm not sticking up. I'm not sticking up for Alicia because, like, me and Alicia's had issues, like what she said about eternity stock, Alicia. But she did. But I've never heard Alicia talk on children, never. And I
would never wish children unalived ever in my life.
No. God striking me down dead. Alicia turned around and said that she said, your children are infidels. She said, I want them to all be unalived.
That is
if that's the thing, Claire, yeah, tag us in it. Tag us in it, Claire.
Hold on. I'll tell you why she said that back to me.
She lies like a rug.
I said, I'm glad that your mum's not here anymore. And she came back
Absolutely not. I've got screenshots of where Claire decided to start talking shit about my mum like 2 years ago. She started adding me in comments talking shit about my mum. She called my children infidels. I've never spoken about this lady's kids, and I certainly haven't wished them unalive. I wish them nothing but peace and happiness with a mother like that, but that's it. Stop talking about there's nothing to do with No Face. And what are you doing? I'm sorry that no man wants you and you're alone forever, but that's not my fault.
You threaten women.
Oh God, this woman.
Right, so let me ask a question, Claire. Yeah, if you say that Alicia said something about kids, right? If you're saying about this, yeah, what's her being a mod for Red have to do with anything? It isn't about being a mod for anyone. This is about a conversation what she's apparently
had
with
for
herself.
Everyone, by the way.
Do you know why?
Right?
Do you know why?
Like, what's it got to do with anyone?
Listen, I know you're up her butthole at the minute, but let me explain it. Right, what Alicia does, she goes from Red to Luke to every person going.
You're just waffling, Claire. You were in Alicia's live 2 weeks ago getting parenting advice about you. Like, what are you doing?
She was.
Parent? What? Because what the hell? Do you think she could give me parenting advice? Are you crazy?
Well, you were asking for it.
No, I turned around and said she's been kicked out of her school. Simple.
All right, so we're all lying. Okay, we're all lying. Claire's telling the truth.
I said she's been kicked out of school.
Okay.
And you was in the box and we was having a conversation.
Alicia said, allow her up. Obviously, you're up her butthole as well.
No, do you know what it is? Really Em's a normal, logical person. That's why I said let Em in the box.
Ems don't have kids. She's clearly a very young person.
Yeah, really young.
What's got to do with not having kids?
Young girls, Alicia.
This woman is like
Claire, that's a bit of a strong statement, don't you think?
Pack it in, Alicia. No.
Oh, mate,
Claire, that's a bit of a strong
statement.
You can't make accusations like that and then not back it up. If there's a clip, then show us the clip.
I've got a video of Claire kicking kids.
Listen, you
random kids in the street.
Nobody, no one knows you. Get to know the Duffy. Alicia's a
Claire, you know me. You've even been in my box.
Well,
did she just say get to know the Duffy?
Well, I'm not coming back again, that's for sure.
Oh no, I'm so affected. Jesus.
No,
guys, can we get the hammies in, please? Thank you. What is going on today, guys? Hammies, please.
Right, listen, everyone. Christine's back. Thank God. Thank the Lord that Christine is back in the live.
Just in time for WWE3.
Yeah, just in time for World War 3.
I won't be coming in your box no more, I'll tell you that much.
Claire, you're going to be blocked from my live, and Chills is probably going to block you too.
Shut up.
And Angie will see the light, and she will also block you.
Go back to Miss Red and Simon. How about that?
I'm not Simon's mod, but if he went live, I probably would be.
Oh, there you go, Ange. There you go. Do you want some mod for Simon now? See? It's all a plan.
It's all a plan. Just to get mod of Simon's life.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
If Sheila went live, I'd definitely be her mod.
Guys, get your heart me's and
Angie knows it as well.
Loves you around these ways.
She's my woke queen.
Oh dear, man.
Can we have an afternoon discussion that doesn't involve Dan, please, Angie?
Yeah, did Babalusha get her out of that bin? No.
No, please don't, Claire.
What do you want?
Well, I thought it might break the ice.
Does anyone else want the box? Gotta put it in the comments, please.
Is Christine requesting yet?
Christine, no. What Christine?
Christine, Boston Christine.
What, American Christine?
Yeah.
Is she in here?
She was.
Bless her, she was so worried about this happening.
About the war?
Yeah, she was really worried about it.
Do you remember she said her sons would have to go and...
Yeah, she was. She was really upset about it.
Mm.
The war's kicking off. What the hell?
Scary times, innit?
Why have you gone into Iran for? Well, not us, America, wasn't it?
It's under the same thing they've been saying since the 80s.
Alicia is part of that. She's
Yep, I am a mod for Iran.
She's a spy.
She mods for Alicia mods for everybody all around the app, and I do believe
I will do, Hayley. I've got them. The radios are in my shop, guys. TikTok shop. The WW3 radios. If you need them.
Angie, I've already ordered the you know the plate that you spilt. What is it? The tray.
I'm gonna work on it tomorrow, guys. Anything to do with I can't say the word. WW3 will be in my shop tomorrow.
Just to let you all know that Alicia is part of the Jewish community, and yes, she is a spy for the Jews.
Whoa! What's it got to do with that? You can't throw that in.
Can you? Why are you bringing a religion into it?
Oh my God!
I'm not Jewish, by the way, everyone.
Duffy.
It wouldn't matter if you were Jewish.
No, I know it wouldn't, but I'm just saying I'm agnostic.
Wow! Hey, Duffy, man. Jesus.
Please. Okay. Hello, Babalusha.
Hello.
Oh yeah.
I've just come to say, Claire Duffy, you need to shut up.
Yeah, I agree.
Nice work.
Yes, I can shush.
In the mirror. Look at you. You've got your own
please.
account.
Yeah. Hold on a minute, Angie. What you got to say to me today? You
Meow. Claire Duffy needs to shut up. Meow.
So you're a pussy then.
What? I'm a pussy? Yeah.
Well, you just said meow.
Yeah, it's Babalusha, Claire. Can you not read?
Babalusha, I'm the cat. You idiot.
Angie, what's going on?
Well, it's gone way over her head, isn't it?
It's gone way over her head. Claire, I think you're being trolled.
It's all wrong. This is
Well, a stick.
It's all wrong, Claire. Yeah, it's all wrong. It's so
She's
wrong.
affected.
Rachel's World, she lies. She said, Wallahi, Alicia said that, which basically means I swear to God, Alicia said that, and she lied on that. She is. You can say all the words you want. You are not a Muslim. You're a fucking embarrassment to the religion.
There's no way that you're a Muslim.
Muslim
Claire.
children,
There's just no
you're not
way.
even Muslim. No,
There's no way. You're not a Muslim. You're just talking absolute poop.
You absolutely mock it.
Speak fluent Arabic and
Doesn't matter. You absolutely mock the whole thing. You mock the whole religion.
Fasting, Alicia?
I'm not a Muslim, Claire.
Yeah, well, shut the fuck up then.
You're not a Muslim. There's no way. There's no way someone who's a
When
Muslim.
you're coming up here like a cat, you can't have chat for me.
Claire, that's Babalusha. Leave her alone.
I know, I love
Yeah, it's
Babalusha,
that,
but
it's
this
that
one
serious,
is a
Claire.
bloody
It's that
troll.
serious.
That's a bloody troll.
I'm not a troll. I'm Babalusha, you idiot.
Anyway, thank you for letting me inbox, Angie. I appreciate you. See you later, guys.
Yeah, I'm going to drop down too, Angie. I'll be in the
Thank you,
comments.
Nick.
Bye.
Right, I'm dropping down. I'm dropping down, Angie. Lots of love.
Thank God for that. Clean your radiators.
Bye. Go change your knickers.
Clean your radiators.
Bye, Claire. Bye. Don't come back.
Clean your radiators. Why should I cook curry? Because my kids are Pakistani.
Muslim.
That's weird.
You're fake.
Seems like backhanded racism there, Claire.
Fake, Alicia.
Can everyone follow my delusive shop, please?
And for Babalusha, just saying.
Angie, when are you going to block Claire Duffy? We're all waiting.
Never.
Oh.
Can everyone follow, please, my Delusive shop? I'd appreciate that, guys. Thank you.